Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Tales on Tap. We hope that you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful evening, and thank you so much for joining us again for our latest episode of Aerilon, A Destined Journey. As always, it is not just myself, but I am gathering with the best group of D&D players known to man.
Hello.
Oh. We've just got the regular guys this week.
I think there must be some kind of mix-up here.
Yeah, we've just got the regular guys this week. But I kid.
He's just talking about the fact that I'm back.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
But thank you so much for joining us. Before we get into tonight's announcements, let's just say hello to everybody quickly. Say hello to everybody, Han.
Hello.
Say hello to everybody, Evan.
Hello to everybody, Evan. I get to do it.
Say hello to everybody, Natalie.
Hello.
Say hello to everybody, Dan.
Hello.
Say hello to everybody, Chris.
What's up, everyone? You're all looking wonderful this evening.
Love that. Hey, Chris.
Ooh,
Dan.
special question.
Special questions.
Okay.
It's creepier every week.
If you could visit any iconic location from the D&D multiverse, where would you go, and what adventures do you imagine would take place there?
I already know what he's going to say.
So fun.
I mean, to be honest, both of the characters that I've played on Tales on Tap, and generally speaking, a lot of the characters I do play, I like city-based stuff quite a lot. I like being in cities. I like, finding all the nooks and crannies, the little underworld places, the secret areas, the factions and stuff like that. So what better city than Waterdeep, really? I got into playing online D&D through a Dragon Heist campaign, and Waterdeep is great. I definitely want to go back to explore that, and what better way to explore it than being there myself. And I think, the role that I would fill in that sort of area is very much the sort of more of the Clovis archetype of swindling and, preying on drunk nobles to get the gems and stuff out their pockets and to fuel my own revelry. That's probably what I'd get up to.
I can see
Love
that.
Love that.
I appreciate
No
it.
surprise child, though.
No.
Maybe not.
Who knows?
We'll explore D&D Forgotten Realms contraception another time, shall we? Let's just move on.
Good. Well, moving on. We are just going to go through a couple of quick announcements, but before we get into all of that, a couple of quick points. Natalie's having some technical difficulties with the camera this week and will not be visible, but I can assure you that Natalie will be with us throughout this evening.
I'm here.
Yeah, but just having a few little technical difficulties with the camera, so we've just decided, rather than stress about it, we're just going to put a pretty picture up of Natalie's character. So for those of you at home, that's Liana. Cool. Another quick point before we get into tonight's episode, something that you guys will have missed between last week and this week, the players leveled up, and everybody got to roll hit die between...
Sorry.
No. That's why I stopped talking, because that was necessary. So everybody rolled hit points and took a level last week. So I'm just going to go around the table so they can explain what they rolled on their hit points and what level they took. So we'll same order again. Han, what did you roll for hit points?
I took a 3rd level in Bard and I rolled a 6. So
Lovely.
I'm now on 26 hit points.
Lovely. And Pim?
I took a 3rd level in Druid, and I rolled an 8, so I'm now on 30 hit points.
Excellent. Liana?
I took a 3rd level in Barbarian, and I got a massive 11, so that brings me up to a clean 40.
Love that. Virgil?
I took a 3rd level in Wizard, and I rolled a 5.
Thank you
So
very
I have
much.
19 hit points.
Lovely. Thank you. And Edivir?
I took a 3rd level in Rogue, and I rolled a 6, so I have 28 hit points.
Excellent. Thank you very much. We won't go into what they took as subclasses, because that takes the fun away from the game.
No.
You'll have to just stay tuned and wait and find out. But before we do dive into tonight's episode, as always, we do have some important announcements to make. So I'm going to go in no particular order at all and ask Natalie to tell us about one of our wonderful sponsors.
Awesome. So our first sponsor of the evening is Valkyrie RPG. That's Valkyrie-RPG. It's in the dungeon. They do everything D&D, so dice, terrain, lovely apparel. Yeah, go check them out. I'm still waiting on my LED dice. I cannot wait to use them. But they're lovely people. They're well worth the support, and they've been with us since the beginning. So, don't forget to use Tails10 at checkout for 10% off your order. It doesn't work on subscription boxes, but they are definitely worth the checkout anyway. But yeah, awesome.
Excellent.
I'm thumbs upping to a screen that doesn't have my camera on.
I'll for you. Don't even worry about it.
Nice.
We got you covered.
Love that. Okay, and again, no particular order. Pim, why don't you tell us, or sorry, Evan, why don't you tell us all about what is happening in the world of Tales on Tap social media?
Well, in the world of social media here on Tales on Tap, a lot is happening. And it is sort of extra important right now to check out social media because now we have the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's out and it's there and you can listen to everything. So make sure that you follow us on social media, on all of the stuff, on the Twitter. I'm refusing to say the other name. It is Twitter. It will always be Twitter. Elon Musk. I'm not saying it. I'm leaving it. It's Twitter. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all of it. Go check them out. Follow us, because then you'll know when everything's going down, when everything's happening. So yeah, do that.
Lovely. Thank you very much. And Han, why don't you tell us about one of our other sponsors?
Of course. So a couple of other very lovely people who we are sponsored by are Awfully Queer Heroes, purveyors of incredible maps, modules, and just spell books, everything. They have full levels 1 to 20 available on their Drive-Thru RPG page or also on their Patreon, so be sure to go follow them. And the past couple of weeks I've been mentioning the Kickstarter announcement, which is soon to be able to be backed, which is level 16 to 20 module called A Tale of Two Queens, a D&D 5e and Pathfinder 2e compatible, if you play it. I personally don't, but you know, to each their own. Pirate adventure, and it's queer friendly, accessible to those with neurodivergencies, and incredible content, incredible stuff, and lovely people. So be sure to head into the dungeon to look at the links to get access to all of their stuff and their goodies.
Yes, very nice. And on that, because I like doing spoilery things, before we obviously move on things to, the announcements about things to come, we actually had Awfully Queer Heroes reach out to us. I don't know if anybody of you have seen this on YouTube, but we actually did a review for one of their previous Kickstarters. They have a one that's coming up very soon and have asked us to review that as well. And that's going to be very, very fun. So keep an eye out on YouTube and things like that so that we can then tell you all about their new up-and-coming Kickstarter. But I seem to be taking the limelight away from you, Chris, so why don't you tell everybody else about what else is to come?
Hello, yes, I am Chris, the ghost of Tales on Tap yet to come. And soon we have a very special collaborative one shot happening with many other members of the tabletop community here on Twitch and online at large. So let's go through a few of those people who are going to be attending us. It is of course going to be dungeon mastered by our own dungeon master. That is our friend Dan over here. He's waving at you now in case you were confused. And there's going to be multiple other people there. There's going to be Jordan from Modified Roll. There's going to be John from the Trolls of the 2 Ton Bridge podcast, and Chloe from the Deck of Many Aces podcast, Miko from Wanderer's Haven, and one of you from the Tales on Tap community, who is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, Ruthalana, who may or may not be in the chat right now. She's usually here with us, and it's great. It's going to be great to have them along at the table for that one shot. You're also going to be able to catch this episode on Spotify and anywhere else that you listen to podcasts. The first half this Thursday and the second half on Sunday, which you can catch on Monday morning during your commute or something like that. It'll be there waiting for you so you can catch up in case you miss any of tonight's episode or indeed any of our previous episodes. All of Campaign 2 is now live on the podcast. Go listen to that.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And on that, I will just say we've seen huge interest in that already. Considering we only launched it, when was it? Last Thursday?
Yeah.
Last Thursday, we've had 46
Less than a week ago.
46 episode plays already. Considering we've only got 11 episodes launched at the minute, or like parts launched, we've seen huge uptake on that. So tell your friends about it. Go tell everybody about it because it's
people
are
working their way through the back catalogue.
Yeah, man, it's
getting up to date. That's what we like to see.
Yes, So we've got loads planned, man. Like we've always got stuff off and away in the distance that we're thinking about and working on. We've got one-shots planned. We've got a huge one-shot planned, which is level 20 characters, where Natalie is going to be doing like a Titan Games Battle Royale style D&D one-shot that's waiting in the wings for us to play.
I cannot wait to be in the DM seat and see all these players.
I'm so excited to play my character. I keep looking at them and I'm just like, I want to play him so bad.
That is coming very soon.
Yeah, there's loads. So keep it Tales on Tap. Keep it clean. Keep it like notified. Check in, baby. Do those things.
Oh God, move on. Move on.
Suddenly become a youth pastor. So
tell you what then, how about we get people to roll some dice? So I will have Evan, I will have Dan, and also Han roll me a d20, please. Not Han, Chris. Yep, you three. So Evan, Dan, and Chris, please roll me a d20 as we find out who's going to be taking notes and then recapping for us next week. Dan, what you get?
Natural 20.
Nice. Chris?
16.
16. Evan?
8.
Is taking notes for us this week and will be recapping for us next week. Have I forgotten anything, guys? I think we're good to play some D&D now, right?
Oh, hell yeah.
Let's do that. Okay, so if you haven't already, go get yourselves a drink, get yourselves comfortable, because we're about to dive into tonight's episode of Tales on Tap.
Tales on Tap.
Well, Kyria said that this helps her remember things, so here goes. Dear Diary, as I was finishing my watch, I saw a bird land on the window that had a scar down its face. It made me think of that card she got. So I told Virgil about it. We talked about possibly burning it, but I left them to it and went down to breakfast with Pim. Tanner gave us a job to give a box to someone for money. He told me that House Galahad had been banned from the games after what I did. While the thought of Galahad losing money does actually make me happy, what this means for the players, the fighters, I don't know. Shit. What have I done? Kyria started working on the collars. Turns out she's coffee powered. So turns out she's coffee pod. After we finish up, we head down to the lower city to deliver the box for Tanner. On the way up, we go through a pipe. While in the pipe, we encountered some folks that first wanted to charge us a toll, but things went south. And I let my impatience get the better of me. I ended up starting the fight, as I normally do. I got a bit lost in the fight myself and let my rage take over. While the others were trying to knock them out, the blood rushing in my ears caused me to kill one of them. When the smoke cleared and the rage died down, I was left with regret. And I could feel the judgment. And they were right, they didn't need to die. I have to work on my rage issues. We carry on with the task of delivering the box to the Hidden Star. There we met a pink-haired, tattooed beauty, Alara Shadow Dancer. In the box was a fancy orb. She gave us the task of chasing down some lost coin from another, shall we say, finder of lost items? Odin Ironheart. She made us sign a contract for this, and it hits me. This is the second time we've been asked for a group name, and we didn't really have one. We really need to figure that out. Alara gave us shelter in a secret room hidden behind a lovely bookcase. We should get one of those. Where we could rest up until dark, as it would be easier moving around the city after dark. What lays in store for us is hard to tell, but for now, that is all.
Very good. Thank
Nice.
you. So,
Completely forgotten that person's name, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, I wrote down all the names.
I wrote down Odin again because I didn't want to scroll back up.
so tonight, we join our adventurers in the pantry cupboard of the Hidden Star. Is this person Alara? Should they be trusted? Are the party being led down a path that they cannot walk back from? Let's find out.
Yes.
Yes, as always, yes.
Absolutely.
I love these little preambles that you do, Dan, because it's just,
Yeah,
are they fucked? Yes.
We pick up with the group in the back room of the Hidden Star. After about 10 minutes or so after Alara leaves them to it and shuts the door behind, leaving the group once again on their own. What do you guys want to do?
I'm going to go straight up to Pim and sort of sit down next to him, but almost like with one of my arms and shoulders over his arm and shoulder, sort of pinning him to the sort of back bench of the seat that we're on. Pimming him.
Dear Lord.
And just sort of lean back over my shoulder and just say, what the fuck is this thing?
What? The orb?
Yes, why do you need it?
It's not necessarily that I need it, but I think it might be useful.
I need answers, because
I don't know exactly how it works, but I've heard stories about it. I've never seen it before, but I've heard stories about it. The gnomes of Tinkertown has made this invention. It's essentially what you would call, I don't know, the best way to describe it is like a sending orb.
right.
Essentially, you record a message into it and you give it to the recipient of said message, and it then activates and they hear the message. So it's like a message spell, but long distance. And if what Grandpa told me is correct, which he's never been wrong before, the best part about it is that it can't be scryed on. So someone else can't be listening in on the message that you're sending unless they are actually in the vicinity next to you.
And it'll be hard to trace to us if we do keep it. That thing that you gave me to replace it with, what was that?
I don't know. I just found it in the store.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, it was sort of the same similar shape. I just see what my thinking is that since it can be sent a message through, and Alara got it from Tanner, there might be something useful there if we listen to it.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, yeah, it could already contain a message that's on its way somewhere.
Yeah.
She did
Could
say,
help.
though, that if we had seen it, that would be bad things.
I think
Oh,
that's
sorry.
what the box.
I probably can't hear this conversation. I probably sorry.
Yeah, we're being very, very.
Yeah.
I'm literally leaning on him to like.
Yeah, I apologise.
All right, we're putting a lot in jeopardy.
Just thought it might be useful for us.
It will be.
But I don't like taking risks, but I
You
kind of felt like
seem
this
to.
could be a risk worth taking.
You seem to know people. You seem to have a good head on your shoulders. If you think that Alara is suspicious or knows anything's going on, you find some way to alert me.
Well, but so far she doesn't. She seems harmless to me.
She might not realise it's gone yet.
Well, we can quickly listen to it, and then if we get information, we can just put it back.
Do you know how to activate it? Do you know how to listen to it?
Only heard stories about it. I've never actually seen or touched one of these things before. I can probably figure it out. I mean,
Okay, I'm going to take it out.
maybe we can put our two heads together. You're quite smart.
I no idea about magic-y kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
You're working with explosives.
It's not the same thing. That's very much a practical application of those
I'm
elements.
pretty sure explosives are more dangerous than this thing.
It's more of a prep. Just take it. I'm gonna take it out of my pocket and I'm gonna palm it off to him. And I'll be like, if you can't get anything out of it, the moment she walks through that door, just put it back in my hand, and I'll just leave sort of my hand sort of resting on my hip with the palm backwards.
Okay.
Okay.
So that
I'm gonna
Phoenix
try and
has
fiddle
somewhere
with
to
it.
chuck it.
Okay.
From what I remember from Grandpa's stories, do I remember anything about how to activate such a thing? Or just that if I activate it,
Roll
it would
me.
send me the message?
Roll me a history check.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
that pizza
that's
looks
not
so
bad.
good, Chris.
It looks like a drawing of a pizza.
History. That is a 16.
16. So I don't think your grandpa would have been able to tell you how it works, other than that it obviously has arcane properties, and that, you know, there's a reason that this was created. Essentially, it is, like you've said, it is a way of being able to communicate with somebody secretively. So being able to record a message, send it to somebody, and have them be able to listen to it. If somebody can pick this orb up and just get it to work, kind of defeats the purpose of it, right? So I think by putting those things together in your head, you know that this is typically not a device that you could just go, oh, there's a play button, and it works. Like, it has a bit more to it than that. There's a bit more of a minutia to it. Do you know the message spell? Do you know the Muffin Man?
The message spell?
I know the message spell.
No, I don't, but I do know someone who does know the message spell.
Okay.
I'm gonna get up.
Okay.
try and scooch Edvir with me next to Kira.
Okay.
Kira, you know the whole talking in your head kind of thing that you do to Tanner?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, don't freak out. I kind of did a thing. Oh, well, I told Edvir to do a thing, and Edvir did the thing, but it's probably because I told him to do the thing.
Okay.
So, this thing here, this is what Alara is after.
Can I keep an ear and an eye towards the door?
Sure. Make me a perception
I'm
check.
constantly like.
If you're keeping a watchful eye, I'll take a perception check.
You did say that there were 2 holes through the bookcase,
Mhm.
like into the store.
Okay, you're being extremely vigilant at this point, Edvir.
For a 23.
Nice.
So this is the thing that we brought here?
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay.
I heard stories about from my grandpa. This is essentially like a sending orb. It sort of functions as your message spell, but on a longer distance.
Oh,
Now-
that's fun.
It's arcane in nature, so it's very hard to crack into. I think you might have to be able to know how to send messages over a distance to be able to get into this thing. So you're arcane in nature, and
I'm just going to point to Virgil.
Well, you can send messages.
Yes,
I've
can,
never
but
seen
You
Virgil do that.
know how he is about magical artifacts, right? I couldn't have been the only one to spot that. He fucking loves them.
Virgil,
It's
you're
true.
probably like a few feet away at this point. Like,
Yeah, I was just wondering how big a room are we?
it's not massive. It's
Like, is it like a
We're
store
all
cupboard
gathering
that
in.
is, like, with me to have this secret conversation? I'm just sort of stood like a foot.
You're probably a good few feet away across the table at this point as
Yeah.
you're being pointed at by Kyria during this hushed conversation.
I think once it was not just me and Pim sort of leaning on each other's shoulders to talk. Once we'd opened it up to Kyria, it sort of probably became quite apparent to the rest of the room.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe you two can work together to fix this, because I just know what it is. I don't know how it works.
That's fine, but why have you taken it?
Could be useful.
Good enough for me. Virgil, darling.
You sort of see Virgil like quilled out at this point. He's just sort of scribbling in his actual spell book, and it seems to be actually drawing circles and sort of like incantations. So yeah, it could be. Yes. So what's up? What are we doing?
They've done a thing.
Oh, of course they've done a thing. What have you done? Oh, for fuck's sake!
And I point to Edvir.
I don't know which one of you took it. I don't know what you're playing at, but please put it back. Can we not steal from our potential allies so soon? So soon.
Point from the wall.
We might not have to.
We don't have to at all. It's not a case of might. We don't. You can
Well,
just
then help us try and get to that point.
What do you want me to do?
We need to get into this thing. I think
Why?
it might contain a message inside of it.
Okay.
It's arcane in nature. I don't know how to crack arcane things. I do nature magic, not arcane magic.
Well, okay, just give it here. Oh,
We delivered it untampered, which Alara knows. We delivered it untampered. So if we tamper with it now, that still is the case.
That's not.
Yeah, but if you read the message, is it going to delete the message? Like, will she know? Like, I don't know if this is a great idea, guys.
Liana's not. She's got a point. Messages generally don't tend to stick around once they've been sent. If we hear it and it vanishes, she will know it's gone
I can encode the same message back.
in the same voice
I could
of
try.
whoever it is.
Pretty good at
Will you
voices.
remember the message? No offense, but
Speak it out loud and
I
get Quill to
assume
write
it'll
it
play
down.
out loud. I don't know how this works. I could
um,
try.
okay.
If we're gonna do something, let's do it quickly.
Fine.
Okay. If
I'll
you're
say it
going
out
to-
loud. Somebody write it down.
Yes, fine.
Virgil.
Yeah, Blank sheet's already out and Quill's at the top of the page ready to start transcribing.
Okay.
I'm gonna stand at the door listening to block one part of my ear and just put my other part of the ear to the door, so if anything comes in.
Okay, no problem. I'm curious to try
Begin
and
to
like.
cast message around it. Yeah.
Okay, make me. I'd like an Arcana check, please,
Okie dokie.
to see if you can kind of work out how to get this thing to activate.
I'll lean over Kiria's shoulder while they do that, and sort of as they sort of start doing things, just move the hand slightly, sort of put things into the correct place that I would see. Sort of.
Okay, so you're helping.
I'm helping, so yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool. You can have it with advantage and guidance, then, please.
Nice. Ha! No, I'll go for the first one, thanks. 21.
Holy shit! Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. You start moving your hands in the way that you would cast message, but without actually casting it.
Yeah.
And you see as you're holding this like orb in your hand, like it begins to kind of like start ticking, and you kind of get a tick, 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 tick noise in your like vicinity, and the top of it kind of like starts to twist and kind of like spin on its own axis, not quickly, but just turning as if a record player was
Like
spinning
an
a
egg
disc,
timer.
right?
Yeah, egg timer. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And effectively, as it kind of like and ticks across, you hear, Alaris, I trust this message finds you in good health and spirits. It is with a sense of urgency that I have to tell you about this group that I'm sending you. Look, I've chosen them carefully. I trust them. I need you to trust them. All right? They're gonna help, and I need you to help them. Everything that you have found might hold the key to what's going on. But we can't get involved. But these people, they can. Give them whatever they need. Help them in whatever way you can. And report back soon as it's done. Tanner. And then it goes tick, tick, and just stops ticking. And
Did
stops
everybody
spinning.
hear that?
It was said aloud.
Oh shit!
Okay.
Wait, what did he mean? He chose us carefully.
What did he mean by everything that she's found?
What does it mean by they can't get involved, but we can?
Well, we have,
Does
nothing
it
to
still-
lose here.
Does it still seem to be in its original form? Can it be replayed or?
Yeah, try and replay it.
Sure, I will.
Just if it starts to
Recast
stop
message
immediately.
build.
and try and
backwards.
get it to
Cast it
replay.
backwards
Yeah,
and then cast it again.
good idea.
Yeah, roll it back. Roll it back.
Quick, get Quill and put it in there and start twisting the
Rewind the
tape back
shit. It's a tape. It's one of those cassettes.
Quill could probably do like a bloody power drill. So.
Make me another Arcana check, please, Kyria.
DL. Oh wait, no, straight. Yeah. That was fucking cocked again. This die. Yeah, not as good. 9.
9. You can't see any way that you would be able to like get this thing to replay.
Okay. In which case, can I figure out a way to record a message? Does it look like I just cast sending into it, cast message into it?
With 9, it does seem like you have kind of figured out sort of how it works.
Yeah.
So sure.
I rolled a 21 before.
Yeah.
Okay, in which case, you see Kyria's form shift into that of Tanner, and Tanner is in front of you, and I'm hoping with the assistance of adjusting to like I'm just like trying to like get into character a bit more. I could go, Alara. I can't do that.
No,
otherwise.
that's fine. Firstly, I'm
Of course,
going
it's
to ask you to make me a performance check.
Okay.
Guidance.
I was going to say, yeah, now's the time.
I'm also
I think
gonna
guidance
put-
lasts for a minute, right?
Yeah, but
should
once
still
it's
have
used,
guidance.
it's
Yeah.
Quick question, Dan. Because of level 3 thing for Bard,
Yeah.
I gain expertise.
Yeah, that's fine.
Can I add that?
Yep.
Woo!
That's a 26.
God
Nice.
damn!
It's it almost seems like Tanner is in the room with you. It's so strange. But you
Just
do.
looking back.
I imagine we've all got
Paranoid.
quite a puzzled look on our face that voice managed to come out of such a sweet.
Yeah, but it is a complete like mimicry. It is very much identical to the way that Tanner sounds in his dark and gruffly voice that he puts on.
There it can't go. There it can't go.
All right, give it. Is it done?
Still looking like Tanner. Yes, it's done.
Oh, that's weird. Okay. Can I have it back? I'll try and slip it back to its place.
Please be careful. Because
I could probably ask Alara if there's like I don't see a restroom in here. Like as a distraction, you can maybe try and slip it back.
Good shout.
Okay. I'm going to peer through the holes to see if anyone else is in the shop.
It doesn't appear so at the moment. No.
Okay. Then I'm going to come out of I'm going to open the door and look around to see if I can see her.
So she is currently behind the desk of the table desk that's in the shop, and Alara just kind of like looks at you and goes, "Oh, hello. Are we done already? It's not even been 15 minutes yet. Are you on your way?"
No, I'm sorry. I really need to use the little kiddies room.
Oh.
The little box.
Yeah. Do you have one here?
Yeah, of course. The outhouse is just by the side. Just out of the front door, go down the side, you'll see it.
Do you mind showing me? I just want to make sure that I don't get lost. I'm very forgetful.
Darling, just turn left out of the door, and the alleyway that's immediately on your left, just down there, and you'll see it. Can't get lost. I could probably throw something from here and hit it.
Um,
I'm gonna go up to Iria. I'm just gonna say, tell her she gets distracted by squirrels or something. We don't want her to run off.
Gary just kind of looks at you and she goes, "What's the problem with getting distracted by squirrels? They're fascinating creatures."
Pay attention. Remember the situation we're in.
Oh yes. And I drop my disguise as Tanner now that the door's open.
Honestly, you can't get lost, my dear. Just outside, to the left, and left again down the alleyway.
I kind of go to the door, and then I start walking to the right, like very obviously, like see if she'll come and correct me.
She doesn't. She just goes, "Oh well." and then again, so the rest of you will see that Alara just kind of like puts her head down and starts like reaming through a couple of parchments that are on a desk.
Right, I could do this. I'm going to go distract.
Are you sure that's a good idea to do immediately after?
That's a very good point.
Give it a
Maybe
minute.
wait a minute.
I'm just gonna go.
One by one, we all just come out of the room. Oh, could you tell me where this is?
Hey!
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll walk a few paces down
Yep.
the street. Like I'm also keeping an eye out for anybody like SBC or thing. Wait a couple of minutes when I'm out of sight, and then kind of, oh no, and walk the other way. And as I'm passing the shop, kind of go, oh yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, it's that way. Yep. And go down the alleyway to the outhouse.
Okay, you do so. No problem.
I'm just gonna. I'll say, right. What's your idea?
Oh no, I was just going to ask about items in the shop.
Well, that's not gonna.
If there's a particular item far up, then I need her to reach because I'm quite short.
Actually, to be honest, there was a couple of things I wanted to ask her about. I suppose that would save me sneaking up to the counter.
Exactly. You're sneaky enough. I'm sure you could manage it.
All right. I'll walk out the door.
Okay.
Thingy up my sleeve.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk out with him as well.
Hello.
You see which way Leona went?
That way, I think. And she kind of like points to the right. She's like, maybe. I don't know. She usually.
I'll just look down at Pim and go, oh, God, you've let her out. I'm sure she'll find her way back.
Does she get lost often?
There's a tendency to get distracted and chase squirrels, that kind of thing.
Oh, that's must be
I
difficult to keep track of.
I mentioned earlier that there might be a few things that you could procure for me that are not necessarily the kind of thing you'd get in a general store.
Oh, yeah. Sure, I procure many things from many places where they were lost. So they could have been found and found their way here.
So I'll approach the counter. Is the box still on the counter?
It is.
Okay, good. I'll say, well, let's just say I like, I'm in the business of rapid deconstruction.
Right. Okay. I
And
think
I
you're
have-
going to be a little bit more specific with what you're looking for.
Well, my work requires certain materials that go bang. Namely, things like black powder, fuses, satchels, pouches, flash
Okay.
powder.
I might have a couple of those things, but not everything. Pouches I could possibly do. Fuses. I do have some kind of wicks that you could maybe use.
Wicks, if they're long enough, or if you have a reel of wicks, that'd be great.
Yeah, black powder's not something that I would typically come across. You'd need to find more of a alchemist supplier for that. And
Sure.
and you know, powders that would explode. Pouches I can do though, and I might have something knocking around that you could use as a fuse. Let me. And she kind of like turns around and like starts opening a cupboard.
I'm switching out them orbs, baby.
Sleight of hand check then,
Guidance.
please.
Guidance.
I was wondering why you came with me.
What the fuck do you
Oh,
think?
Who wants to buy something too? Okay. Okay. So this is Gloves of Thievery. This should be good with guidance, which is D4, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. Everyone, hold your breaths.
Play your lute, Kyria, so we can get body inspiration.
hang on a minute. We've got big numbers here, guys.
Oh,
I just thought he said,
Oh.
hold your breasts.
breaths. Everyone, hold on to your titties.
It's about to go down.
That's gonna get clipped. Oh god.
I'm glad I didn't do it.
That'll be a 28.
Ooh, okay. 28. You manage, as she kind of turns and she's got her head in a cupboard, pulling a couple of things out. You almost in one swift action lift the box lid and go to pick up whatever was inside that Pim gave you.
Yeah.
To find that the box is empty.
Shit.
Do you place the orb back? You've got seconds at this point.
No.
Oh,
Okay, so you keep hold of the orb and shut the box, and she kind of turns back to the counter. Here, they're not really for what I think you're looking for, but you can use them nonetheless. And she places down a couple of leather pouches, like small coin pouches, a couple of like fabric cloth, like haversack, like very sack, like things a bit bigger, and kind of goes, there's 4 there. She pulls another drawer out and pulls out a couple of like...
Looking upon her person, is there anything orb-like protruding from any pockets or anything like that?
Doesn't look like it.
Okay, when she turns around again, I'm just going to look to Pim and just like shake my head and like, where is it? It's not in there, kind of thing.
Can I look at the place where I found the replacement orb?
Yes, you can. And as you kind of
shit.
turn your head to look where you picked up the orb, you see the thing that you handed Edivir back on the middle of the shelf, like on its little plinth thing in the middle of the shop.
Oh, she's smart.
And then she kind of turns and goes, "Oh, there you are." And she places the 2 wicks down and she goes, anything else?
I'm just gonna grab the orb from Edivir.
Okay.
I go, yeah. 2 things.
Well, if I have them, then by all means, yes.
Do you have bandages?
We do. Well, we're not really bandages, but we have a lot of cloth that could be used.
Literally anything would be good at this point. I don't have enough materials.
Sure, I can fetch you something.
I got hurt, and I'll show where the scar is.
Oh, dear. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Here,
Fine.
let me. And she kind of like places a hand on your shoulder, and you see this like radiant energy start pouring out of her hand onto your shoulder, and you gain 6 hit points back as she casts Cure Wounds.
Wow.
See?
Thank you.
No need for bandages, just all about having friends in the right places.
Speaking of, I do need to apologize as well.
And so you should.
Curiosity sort of piqued my interest a little bit. I usually don't do this, I swear. I'm usually a very... Grandpa would be really mad at me, but...
And you see her put
that's
her
really-
elbows on the desk and place her hands and goes, "Well, you are a very talented bunch, aren't you?" And she takes it out of your hand and she goes, "Oh, let's just put that back where it belongs." And puts it in, opens the box, puts it in and closes it again, and then just picks the box up and puts it under the counter, and then just kind of turns and goes, "Will there be anything else?"
No, I think that's pretty much what we were after.
No other heavy pockets? Nothing else has gone missing?
No, not really.
Oh, that was a statement, dear, not a question. So for the pouches and the wicks, let's call it 3 gold, and we'll be friends again.
Like a good deal. I'll give her 3 gold.
I'll give her
What?
3 gold as well.
Guys,
Like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah, this is kind of... He gives 3 gold, and I'm like, and that's from me.
She doesn't even question it, takes the coins off the side, opens the till and drops them in and shuts it, and just with a knowing like smile and look on her face goes, "Rest up now."
Turn and sheepishly walk back into the fucking pantry.
A few moments later, Liana kind of walks back into the shop and joins you, and you are all in the back room of the Hidden Star. Is there anything anybody wants to do during this short break?
Yes, just quickly.
Okay.
So Kyria is kind of getting distracted by going through their bag again, and then grabs their diary and is like, "Oh yes, Virgil, what I was saying earlier." And opens to the disguise self spell sigil that they transcribed. I had a thought. Basically, I was thinking if we could potentially work together, we could encode my, disguise self knowledge and understanding and almost recharge, essentially, the necklaces. Potentially. It will take a long time. I don't really know anything about enchantment, but it was an idea.
Sort of placing his spell book down, and Quill just sort of hovering over like a half-drawn circle. I'm going to pull over the transcribed disguise self sigil. Just sort of like as a check, like I know this isn't a spell scroll, but does this look like a usable spell?
It's sort of like...
Because I was thinking about this. What differentiates a spell scroll from just a written spell circle on a piece of paper? Because surely it's
The parchment and the ink.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the quality of the parchment, quality of the ink. I suppose the contents of it are the complete summary of how to cast, what to cast, where to cast, everything included on a scroll. And I suppose that a spell scroll is very much imbued with the power of that spell, so that when used, you don't have to have magic abilities to use it. It just activates from the spell.
Meanwhile, that is just me going, that's what it looks like. There you go.
Yeah, whereas Kyria's is very much like the equation behind how they cast it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so just another question for my thing. If I was looking at this, if I was to transcribe it into a spell book using my quill, would it eventually become a usable spell? If I was to take this, comprise it in my own way into a spell book, could I make it a working disguise self for me?
You could probably... It will take you some time to do, but yes.
And if I were to help him through kind of the vocal somatic components and stuff like that,
Yep. Very much in your wheelhouse, Virgil.
So sort of... Yeah, of course. So taking sort of his spellbook and the scroll, sort of looking over, like, very thoroughly through this sort of spell circle incantation, things like... This is... No, I'm not going to say surprising. This is very good, Kira. You have a talent for this, or at least you have some practical skill in spellcraft, or at least the creation of these. I'm impressed.
I don't know, it's almost like when I cast a spell or I listen to music, I can see shapes form within it, and I just wrote down what I could remember seeing.
Well, it's, again, a story for a different time, but it's funny you talk about shapes and magic, but the point still stands. It's good. I think potentially if I transcribe this into my spellbook, it'll become a realized spell, at which point maybe we could... I'm not an enchanter either. I don't really know how... I don't know the ins and outs of putting spells into objects yet. It was something on the to-do list, but, burning down libraries got in the way. So I think it's definitely something we could do. I definitely want to do it with you. I think it would be good for the both of us. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to... as lovely as your work is, I have my own method.
That's fine.
And he's just going to flip to a blank page and just start with quill, because it's first level. It'll be like 4 minutes with my quill, just like it, just this sort of very... You see it works not like autonomously on its own, and it just circle all the little things, like perfect lines, perfect everything. It just sort of transcribes it in. Right. I'm going to have to leave that for a bit to soak in, but when it works, I will let you know that it is a feasible spell, and then we can start doing things.
Amazing.
While we do have this moment of peace, I think it's worth us having a quick talk about what just happened in the tunnel.
Oh, I thought you meant
Juliana
stealing
does
from
shrink a little bit.
a potential friend.
Sorry?
You see, Leanna does shrink a little bit when you talk about what happened in the tunnel.
But I'm not judging anyone for doing what they thought was right in a bad situation, in a chaotic situation. And trust me, I'm not one of these life is precious people. It's not.
No, it is. And you were right. They didn't need to die.
There are hundreds of thousands of bad people in this city, and plenty of them would do the world a great benefit by just fucking dying, all right? I'm not saying that we shouldn't kill anyone. No one deserves to die. Everyone deserves a second chance. There's a lot of people who fucking don't. But people at the bottom of the rung, people fighting out of desperation, people with no other option. I've been there. There's plenty of people who would have probably felt themselves very justified to have killed me and my brothers back in the day. Maybe for some of them, maybe that's still the case. I don't know. But the point is, we had two options once fists started flying. Now, Virgil, I don't know where you came from. I don't know what your upbringing was like or your situation. But in rough places, if someone comes up to you and demands a bit of money to let themselves pass, you knock them out, you put them in a ditch, and they wake up learning a very valuable lesson, but they fucking wake up. It wasn't worth killing those people, right? And look, like I said, I'm not judging you for doing what you guys thought was the right thing to do in a bad situation. That's your decision. We live by it. But please just consider forward a few moves. If one of them died, they all had to die. If someone killed Kyria, do you not think we would spend every waking moment hunting them down if they let us live? And what if we then saw their faces plastered all over the city and wanted papers? We'd be in a real fucking rush to sell that information, wouldn't we? Think forward. Think about who we're killing, why we're killing them. We're not marauders. Okay? Or at least I'm not. And I'm sorry for snapping when I did. If I'm honest with you, and I apologise, but where I come from, mages have a reputation for putting themselves above the more mundane populace, to not value the lives of non-magic users. And while those people may have been down and outs, you saw what they were afflicted by. They were pushed out of society. That doesn't make them lesser. Doesn't make them expendable. So, yes, it struck a nerve. It struck a nerve. But I'd just like you to, moving forward, if you can, consider who we're fighting.
I can tell that it has struck a nerve. And yes, you're right. You don't know where I'm from. You don't know anything about me. One day, maybe you shall. But it's not about being better or being lesser. Quite frankly, I don't see how much further we can all fall. I don't appreciate being accosted in a tunnel by people who are no better off than us for what we own. This is the first time I've ever been put into one of these situations, Ed.
I understand.
I don't come across this in life very often, nor do I intend to. I don't intend to kill them, but when they are biting Pym, throwing you to the ground, genuinely taking us as best they can because they want us dead, I'm going to fight back. I'm done being held down by others. If someone pushes me, I am going to push back hard. I'm not dying in a tunnel because some people want to get a bit of money out of me. It's not about better, it's not about lesser, it's about survival at this point. We all have lives, we all have things we want to do. I'm not dying for this. I'm not letting any of you die for it either.
I don't think that's what he's saying. I think we had choices, and I took that choice away when I threw that first axe. I
so did they when they
for that, but
told us that we had to give them money for passing through.
The first, whoever struck the first blow is, by the point where things were going, it was starting to feel like an inevitability. But it's how we end it. We had two of them down. Last one was on his last legs. I appreciate you feel the need to push back when shoved. But we had them. We didn't have to finish it like that. You're a big lad. You could have jumped on his back. But listen. If we're pushing back, let's push up, not down. If we're trying to rise through this fucking city, then we should be pushing up.
Well, the unfortunate thing about pushing up is even plants push the soil around them, beneath them. As they move up, things are going to happen. People are going to fall by the wayside. We are going to push down whether we want to or not. To hold back.
I just think, so that was my first time really experiencing anything like that either, Virgil, and I think it's not so much that we don't, it's like Eddie's saying, we don't necessarily have to not push back. It's about finding the right sum to the equation by looking at all the potential outcomes and options. I mean, listen, Pim over here has never harmed anyone intentionally harmed anyone in his life. And sorry, Pim, didn't mean to bring that up. Hasn't raised a finger to harm anyone on purpose. And sorry, I'm caught on a loop on that now. I think that there are always going to be ways around situations like this. I mean, obviously there are going to be times where there's not, and that unfortunately might have to be the outcome. But I think if we'd have disoriented them, confused them, I mean, I want to work on the ability to make people forget certain things, kind of get them into my frame of mind so that we don't run into problems like this so often. It's bound to happen, but when we push down, we don't need to push down so permanently. We can still allow the soil space to rise back up again.
I agree. I think we're all learning. This is a new situation for all of us. And I know when I get into my frame of mind, I mean, we didn't pull punches in the arena. We go until it ends. And it's hard to break that cycle. And it's all about learning and controlling.
Yeah, no, I can appreciate the position that you come from. And same with you, Virgil. I'm not judging either of you for your actions. I don't want you to feel like I'm scolding you or saying that what you did was the wrong thing to do. I was on my last legs. They could have turned on me and I'd be the one down. That wouldn't change the fact that there were other options. Options that I would have preferred to have taken, but I can't make you take. The only thing I can do is voice those things to you and hope that you'll understand and respect those words. And I understand and respect what you're saying.
Look, I didn't intend to kill that last one. Honestly, I had knocked out the one behind them. I was all for whatever it is you were trying to do. I get it.
That's what was most surprising to me.
Because I got worried. That's why Pim was bitten nearly in twain. They were all over Liana, and you were on your back. Fact of the matter is, I got worried that if one of you goes down, they don't care. And yes, I'm new to this. I've never fought for my life before. I've never fought this much, ever. So I will not kill actively. It was never my intention. It was never something I wanted to do. I just didn't know what else to do in the moment. So, of course, we will not hurt those that do not need to be hurt more than they already are. It's fine. I get it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying thou shalt not kill. Like I said, I'm not one to treat life as precious. What I am one to do is consider circumstances. Because I've been in harsh circumstances and desperate circumstances myself. And it's difficult once you've been there to not relate. And when you see one of those people burnt or cut down, just trying to eke out a living, brings back
talking about circumstances. I mean, I got bit twice. You don't think that that's contagious, whatever that is, that made them like that?
Got put in an impossible decision. Dag. They're were-rats.
What's a were-rat?
It's a curse.
Is it a transmissible curse? Is it contagious?
See, Liana is like proper looking at the two bites now. One on her shoulder, one on her arm, like
just
wide-eyed.
If I pull back my shirt, DM, I know that Laura healed me.
Yep.
Can you still see the bite mark?
It looks to be healing.
But it's not gone.
Just as like a general.
Go on, Dan.
You answer. No, sorry, you answer him, and I didn't realize he was still going. Sorry, you answer. Answer him, and I'll answer my question.
Are you back to full hit points? I would say it's healing, and
I
looks.
I am back to full.
Yeah, it looks to be healing. It's not gone because that's not how D&D magic works. Unfortunately, you are healing. It is healing. It isn't instantaneous.
I was healed in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Me looking down to where I was back up to full hit points.
Yeah.
Me looking down at my wounds. Are they?
It looks to be a lot further along the path of being healed than Pim's, but it does look like it's almost gone.
Well, that might be something to do a bit of research on.
Yeah, just
I've
don't let me become one of those things.
I mean, seeing you become a cross between a cat and a rat is some kind of paradox that I don't want to see happen.
I'm not a fucking cat.
I mean, splitting hair, sweetheart.
Well, I have a lot of hairs to split, but I just,
No,
I
you're
just
right.
don't want to be. They seem to lose control once they transformed, and I know about that, and I don't want that to happen to me. So just keep an eye out for it for me, just in case I don't notice
The next
it.
time I'm allowed in a place with books, I will make sure to do a little bit of research on basic lycanthropy, I think it would be.
Maybe
Or
like
transformations, I'm not quite sure.
or something like that. It depends
Well,
on
if it's
how
anything
they
like-
came to be.
Vampires, werewolves, that kind of thing. I don't
Like that.
know if it's
You don't need to make
not really
any
sure.
research.
You know about these things?
Chair.
No, but I have a feeling that we're probably screwed.
Listen, it's healing.
Don't give up on yourself yet. There's
And
always hope.
even if whatever has transferred, research to how to get rid of it might be good as well. I think you do see this little bit of desperation going on in Liana's face, and she's like, no, I think definitely books are. I'm not usually one for books are good, but research, thumbs up.
Books
Good.
are very good.
An hour passes while you guys have this conversation. You all gain the benefits of a short rest, so if you need to roll if you want to roll hit die to get some hit points back, you can. For those of you at home, just so that we're absolutely clear, when these guys level up, they have to have a long rest in order to gain the spell slots, if they have any additional spell slots that have gained through level up. They still gain the spells, however, they have only got the spell slots that they have had at the level they were at. Essentially, any abilities and things like that, they will gain. Some abilities they might not gain straight away because we might want roleplay into it, but we'll find out. So you guys get a short rest. Like I say, roll any hit points if you need to. But an hour passes, you feel suitably rested up as the door into the room opens and Alara steps in and goes, "Well, you've rested up, I take it?"
Yes, it's surprisingly comfortable in here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but don't you have a job to do?
I
Yes,
thought we were
we-
waiting until dark so we could do that better.
No.
that's a couple of hours away.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
we're better off doing some reconnaissance in the daylight.
Yes, dear, you've got quite a few hours to go until nighttime, so let's be on your
Oh.
way now.
Okay.
So, time to go and get this Alden guy, I guess.
By the gate.
We'll be back when the job is done.
Oh, very well. Take care, all of you. Please?
Yes, and just a reminder for myself, it's the gold you're owed or the 3 crates you're owed.
Well,
Or both.
Or both. I mean, if both fell into my lap, I would be extremely happy. But one or the other, or both, whatever you can do.
One thing that did come to mind. 3 crates worth of goods. That's a lot to transport across the city.
Yes. Not uncommon, though, in a city like Windmere. People travel goods across the city every day.
What, in lieu of getting a cart to transport the goods? Do you have any nifty ways that we might be able to carry such items?
Do you have one of those portable holes I've read about?
In fact, I do. It is not so much a portable hole, but it is a bag that can carry quite a number of things.
Got a handy haversack on you.
Something of the sort.
Oh, I do love a good extra dimensional
Then
space. Can I
maybe
see it, please?
Would we potentially be able to
Dan's asking to see it.
borrow it?
Unfortunately, no, I do not lend things out. As I've mentioned, I am a business, of course. And to turn a profit is what we all do this for.
Well, you wouldn't be lending it as much as you would be flying it to the completion of the task that you've set.
What
But
about to pawn it off in exchange for this temporarily? And I will pull out the Lucky Charm
Oh, shit.
amulet.
if you don't mind.
Of course.
Hands it over. She kind of like looks it over and goes, I mean, I would, but the value of both items is not quite the same.
It's almost like a down payment, a collateral.
And, okay, so let's say that things go bad, and I hand you one of my more
You can just
profitable
carry the thing.
items, and you go missing. Not only am I down 250 gold pieces, but 5 wonderful friends, and my bag.
Well,
I'm
on
sorry,
the-
but
if-
such
on the converse.
a loss could not be mitigated. Sorry.
Well, let's
But
say
if we
things.
go-
Go on.
If we go missing, or presumably end up dead, our stuff would just come back to you anyway, because that's what people do with missing stuff.
And do you
wouldn't
have-
technically lose anything?
Do you have 250 gold pieces between you?
Let's say the opposite. Let's say things go really well. And we are able to recover both your gold and your goods. But in order to get your goods out, we need the bag. Then you're down the value of all those goods. It's a worthwhile
Tools for the
investment.
job. It's just tools for the job.
Make me a persuasion check out of it.
Why am I doing this? Come on, guys.
And
We're all helping, are you kidding me?
You can have it with advantage.
Yay!
As a
And-
magical item collector, I couldn't separate someone from the magical item, so I get where she's coming from with this.
7.
7.
Yeah.
Oh,
with advantage.
Yeah.
And guidance.
Are we allowing that guidance? I mean, I'll do it. 8.
Great.
Brilliant.
You don't talk. You're not allowed to talk anymore.
look, I appreciate what you're trying to say, but you're all very capable, and if you can't figure out a way of getting 250 gold pieces and 3 crates of valuable goods across a city, then really, are you the best people for doing this job?
We can do it. It's fine. It was just more about ease.
Oh, well, if it was easy, then anybody could do it, dear.
How big are these crates? Would they even fit into a bag?
Oh, no, they're special bags.
You can open crates and pour the stuff inside.
Oh, no, it's
Oh.
not even about that. You could fit the entire crate.
Well, it depends on how big the crate is. I mean, how big is this bag?
This
we're not
definitely
going into that.
sounds like
We-
something you could discuss on the way.
We can do this. Absolutely, not a problem at all. Yes. You all
Okay,
ready?
well,
All ready to go?
good luck.
Yes.
Oh, before I do go, do you have any rope?
Oh, I picked up some rope.
Okay, never mind. Bye.
Goodbye.
I also have rope too. I got that in the last shop we were in.
Ah, so you did.
This is the rope I
I
was
paid
whipping.
for it.
As we leave the room, Virgil just turns to Lana and goes, "Sorry for them. We'll be back soon."
Take care now. Goodbye. And you all step out onto the streets of Winmere. It is around midday.
Yep.
The sun is at its highest. It is,
We're alleyway first, please.
it is a, quite a nice spring day. Climate outside is quite warm, but you all, as you say, dip out of the shop and into the alleyway next to it.
Okay, so how do we plan on going unnoticed?
Well,
we do have coats.
Yes.
We've got enough to conceal ourselves from passers-by enough, as long as we remain a little bit off the beaten track.
Listen, the cloaks were really effective in the Undercity. All 4 of the cloaks in the Undercity, they were spectacular. However, it is a hot, sunny day, and we are planning on walking around with cloaks on.
It's not
So
that
that's
hot.
going to be discreet.
You think this is hot?
I did say it was a fairly sunny day, yeah.
I'm just saying, to the eye, to the passerby, a group of 5 individuals, hooded.
Feels fairly mild to me, but I'll take your word for it.
I'm just saying it'll look like we're about to start a cult.
Is that worse than being wanted for breaking out of jail?
That's a good point.
I
It's
think
definitely worse.
if they're looking for 5 people, maybe we should travel in 2 groups. No, not like split up, but like just walk apart. Then at least we're separated and we're not 5 people.
It's actually a pretty decent idea.
How far enough is it from here to the gate?
It's the other side of the city, right?
Yeah, about an hour and a half.
Well, we don't have to necessarily immediately run to that. We've got other things we need to be getting on with up here, looking for an alcohol. Sorry, hit my microphone stand. We've got some other people that we want to try and look in on. The Potioneer's Parlour here in the lower city, and the Phoenix Feather Apothecary. Tanner told us about them, said they might be able to help us find out what this flux stuff is.
I
I'm
think
more-
if we
I also could do with picking up some chemical materials. So I wouldn't mind going past the Phoenix Feather anyway.
Given the message we just listened to, with Tanner giving Alana our word that he, his word that we can be trusted, I think doing this for her will open more doors than with us just wandering around hoping to find things.
I would agree.
Nevertheless, I need to go to pick up some more materials. So if
How
we can
much
kill
more?
2. Well, I mean, all I've got right now is bags and wicks. It's not going to get us very far.
There's a gentleman that we're about to relieve of either his gold or goods. Might have. He's less reputable than Alara, so he might actually have some of the stuff you need.
The kind of stuff that I use is
And
not the
just
kind
then-
of thing people have lying around in warehouses. It's really stuff that is mostly attained from chemists and places like that. Stuff that causes a violent reaction is not usually traded so freely and so haphazardly.
This dude is a smuggler, right? As far as I understand it, Alara's not really here for sort of reputable business.
All I'm saying is we've got 2 missions right now. Find out what Flux is and who's making it, and do this job for Alara. And we're in the middle lower city now. They said it would be probably easier to do later, this Odin thing. So why not spend a little bit of time trying to figure some stuff out while we're up here?
I mean,
It's not like she said there was any major rush. It wasn't like get back here before sunset or something.
Where is this chemist that you wish to?
It's in the middle city.
Yeah, I just high noon going to the middle city. I mean, we
When it's
barely
the
made it
most
out of
busy.
there. We barely made it out of there before.
That
was the
was
high sea, wasn't it? Yeah.
that was when everyone was on full alert, and yeah, that was coming out of the high sea. If that's what you're talking about, midday in the middle city, the place is fucking packed, especially the main market. If anything,
He's
it's the
not
best
wrong.
time to move around.
He's not wrong. I've walked through the middle city market many times on the way to our. One question, Eddie. Do you actually want to blow things up, or do you just want it on hand? Because we don't need to be making more explosions.
I can make things more controlled. It's my preferred method. I can do a lot better without, but I can do a lot better with it than I can do without it. Put it that way.
Okay.
And no, it doesn't mean blowing up buildings everywhere we go. Not yet.
What do you mean not yet? Not at all.
I'm with Virgil.
If
On
we're
this
not, if we're thinking the smart way, not injuring people, you don't just get to start throwing explosives around.
We've spent a lot of time since we've met talking about how to cause a distraction. That's all I'll say. Now, should we get on with it?
So, where are you guys heading?
To Alchemist.
Middle City, Phoenix Feather Apothecary in the Middle City, if everyone is down to go by that way.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So, it'll take you maybe an hour to get to the Phoenix Feather in the Middle City. It is lower Middle City, though, so it's not as far to there as you would imagine it would be to the market. The market would probably take you a couple of hours. But you start heading there. I assume keeping to like back alleys and things like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll have
Cloak
a...
on.
Okay. Are you trying to be stealthy?
Yes.
In terms of going unnoticed and not raising our heads too much, and
Okay, so just
Yeah,
kind of
not
keep...
like creeping around a corner, but more
Yeah.
like
we're not
being
like
inconspicuous.
sneaky. We're like
Yeah.
we're like sneaky.
concealing
Yeah,
yourselves
discreet,
rather
not
than
stealthy.
sneaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I won't need a stealth check or anything, so you're good. You guys splitting up? Or are you keeping together?
Do we happen to be heading in the direction of a certain god? Hang on. 2 seconds.
Certain god.
Certain god. Hang
Yes.
on,
God.
Hang on.
Every path you take is in the direction of a certain god, yeah.
No, not that one. The Dreamweaver's Emporium.
Dreamweaver.
Oh, I'm going to ask you, do you think that you're going in the general direction of?
I know I had to go to the Middle City.
Cool. So
The
then,
Dreamweaver's Emporium.
Sounds like a yes.
so you head into you know that you're heading to the Middle City. If you're heading in the general direction of the Dreamweaver's Emporium is another thing.
I just
you're
can't
not
remember where
quite-
in the Middle City it is.
And
Yeah,
therein
it
lies
depends
the
on how
issue.
general we're talking.
I just thought Dreamweaver's. I've got tasks for the day. I did a Kyria list.
You don't know yet. It's
Okay.
you might be heading in the same general direction, but you might not.
Okay. It's all good. That was more a question for Han than Kyria. I was like, I couldn't do
Yeah.
Kyria yet.
Okay.
So yeah, I think we did sort of break up into a couple of different groups. My suggestion would be that the two quick people in one group, and then so Liana and Edivir towards the back, watching the rest of you guys go, so that we can catch up to you guys if anything goes wrong.
Yeah, we'll keep you in our sights.
Yeah, exactly.
So an
Are
hour.
we genuinely leaving Kyria lead the way, though? Really? Is that smartest? Is that... No,
No,
that is Liana.
but-
She's... But Virgil's
Vir-
with her, so that's fine.
Virgil's been
Yeah.
So
Hey,
much.
I got us to the elevator.
So much shade, bro.
Yes, you did. Well done. I could barely even get that out. Sorry.
So an hour or so passes. You guys kind of split up into two groups and start making your way through the Middle City. And you are absolutely right. It is a lot busier on the streets during the day than it is at night, and it is a lot easier for you to go unnoticed with more people around.
I'm looking out for any opportune pickpockets, potential situations.
So you're looking to see if there's anybody to pickpocket, or if there's
Yeah, just any nobles who look like they've come down to sort of be amongst the riffraff of the lower and middle cities with an opportunely placed coin pouch on their hip that I could just whoop.
Okay.
Nothing too involved.
Okay, make me a perception check to see if you can spot anything like that on your way.
I'm just looking out
SBC
for
and City
SBC.
Guard.
Yeah, I'm looking out for people we should be looking out for.
Okay. Perception
man,
check
I'm
from you
rolling.
then, Leanna, please.
I'm rolling crazy tonight. Perception, that's a 22.
22.
Damn.
So
Stop rolling that dice now.
as you're walking towards where you believe the Phoenix Feather is, the Phoenix Feather Apothecary, you at the back with Leanna, as Leanna's kind of like watching down the streets and stuff. Given that you have got your hood up and what have you, you do see some nobles, but often nobles travel the middle city. They are with armed guards or with their own kind of like bodyguards, but you do see one that doesn't seem to be currently escorted at the moment. You see it's on the corner of a street. They are kind of looking at this flower shop that's on the corner of this like street, and they're outside, and they seem to be like looking over some flowers and trying to, picking up a bunch, smelling them and things like that. And as you kind of walk past, I need you to make me a sleight of hand check, please.
I got a 19 for my perception.
God!
Okay, no problem.
I just switched dice and rolled another 19, so that'll be
Nice.
that'll be a 29.
29. You almost, with like very slowly but almost like lightning fast, you can't do both because that was a paradox, but you managed to like very slowly take the dagger out of its sheath, and in one very quick and swift moment you grab the pouch and just cut the string as you walk past and pocket it.
Yeah. I'll just
The person's getting Emperor's new clothes look. All of
You
a
very
sudden,
much
yeah,
like-
all of a
everything's
sudden,
gone.
all of their clothes fall off.
Leanna, with that 19, you don't spot. I mean, you do spot SBC, and you do see the City Watch as well patrolling the streets. But because of how many people are in the streets, they seem to be kind of like watching everyone on the whole, rather than like pinning and spotting any one or two people in particular. But as I say, an hour or so passes, and you guys round the corner onto one of the main thoroughfares to the eastern side of the city where the Phoenix Feather is. You're probably around 4 miles? No, 3 miles-ish between where War is on the eastern side and where the Phoenix Feather is. You are further south than where the Windmere Academy of the Arcane Arts is. War. Thank you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But you're a good couple of miles away from that. On the eastern side of the city, in the middle city, you do have to walk up the thoroughfare, but you do see this beautiful building kind of set aside from the others on the corner of a junction. You see that hanging almost in its own, like not attached to anything, it's sort of like levitating and hanging above the door, is essentially this red feather that's made of like this metallic material, just kind of like swaying in the wind above the door. However, you don't see any light source coming from inside the shop. The door appears to be shut, and there doesn't seem to be any movement in and out of the shop. The two windows, one of the windows shutters are closed. The other is, one's closed and one's kind of open ajar, but it doesn't look like there's much life or movement within the shop, which strikes you as odd, given that it's the middle of the day on one of the busier days of the week.
Do they have opening hours on the door?
It does not, no.
Gone to lunch.
Go to the
Back in
post
what?
office, be back in 5?
Yeah. There's no notices or anything on the outside or anything like that.
Doesn't appear to be, no.
Oh. Well, that was a waste of a journey.
I mean, we could just try the the handle. Maybe they just. I mean, maybe they didn't pay their bill and the lights are off.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, these kind of materials, buying them can sometimes raise the wrong eyebrows. So typically, I've acquired them through less documented means.
How does the outside look in terms of vegetation and things like that, DM? Like, are there potted plants around? Or is it this sort of like more?
So no, it's more of an urban setting, so there's not like much in terms of vegetation and flora that are growing in pots around or anything like that. But it just generally looks shut. The shop looks closed. Again, two of the shutters are like the kind of wooden shutters on the outside of the windows have been shut too, on both sides of where the door is in the middle. One of them is ajar though.
So if this place is locked
Look
up,
through the door. I look through the window. The one that's ajar.
Okay. Sorry, go on, Edinburgh. Were you talking to the group or me?
yeah, to the group.
Okay.
Oh, don't worry. I'll come back to me.
Okay. So you kind of like lean in and look through the window, Liana, and there's no like light source visible inside, and it's very hard to see because it seems like the shutters on all sides where windows are have been closed. It's very dark in there. I know obviously you do have dark vision, so you do start to pick out some details, and it surprises you what you see, because it looks like the inside of this shop has been torn apart. Shelves are kind of off the walls. There are like display racks that have been pulled down, and there is smashed bottles and liquid and glass all over the floor. The shop looks like it's been ransacked, and there is no sign of anybody inside.
I hold my hand out and then like to shush everyone. She backs away from the window. That doesn't look good.
Are we still in the main street?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is there an alleyway nearby?
There will be, yeah.
Does it look like there's a dwelling attached to the apothecary? Like, does it look like a shop front and a home?
It does, yeah. So the building is quite large. It would be safe to assume that whoever owns this shop also could possibly live there as well.
Okay.
Let's get off the street. This place could be being watched.
It looks like it's completely ransacked. Like, I don't know if someone's like there's been a big fight in there, or someone's been looking for something. They haven't been looking discreetly. If that's what the case is, I can understand why they're closed now.
I am going to kind of begin to cast message towards like the dwelling area, like the upper floors, and I'm just going to tentatively just be like, "Hello? Anybody around?" I'm just basically scanning the building with message to see if I can pick up on anyone.
You cast the message. We don't hear any response.
Is there some kind of a balcony or ledge or something towards like a window in the alley that we are towards this building?
Not so much a balcony, no, but there is like, other windows and stuff on the second floor, if that's what you're asking. But there's no balcony as such.
Is there like a window ledge, the sort of... only thing I can think of is like old Victorian home, kind of, the sort of small stone platform outside the window.
Oh, right, yeah, nothing like that, no.
Okay. Huh?
Well, something's come through here and been looking for something. What if it was the SBC? They could be looking at this place. If they didn't find what they were looking for here, they could be keeping an eye on it to wait for someone to return with whatever they were looking for.
I would think that they would. Yeah, I was thinking that because if it was the SBC, they would be a bit more delicate about these things. What if it's those flux heads that are looking for stuff to make it?
This is a precision attack.
Yeah, there's no
everywhere
broken
else
windows.
No, everywhere else seems absolutely fine from the looks of things. This is
Yeah,
a
but-
target.
If you're
Keep an eye-
looking for the stuff that will make that, then you would know the sort of place to go. You wouldn't attack, say, like a bookstore or whatever. You would attack a chemist or an that word.
But if someone was going crazy on flux, it stands
Yeah,
to
I
reason
didn't
that
think about that.
they already had some. If they're going mental, but anyway,
Yeah, unless it's the maker.
If it
Like
is,
this.
it might be the maker.
just wait here, and I'm gonna parkour up the side of the building and try and get looking through the window.
Okay.
Upstairs.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me an acrobatics check, please.
Yes, sir. That is 18.
18. You kind of like push yourself off a couple of walls and like scramble up, like clutching into like gaps within the brickwork to like manage to lever yourself up into a position of holding on to the bottom of the window ledge and kind of pulling yourself up to peer through one of the windows. It's so the upstairs, the window that you look through looks directly into a bedroom. The bed looks made. There appears to be a table off to one side on the left-hand side that you see a chair slightly pulled out of, and a kind of bowl and a spoon that's kind of placed on the table. It looks like if you look over to the right-hand side of the room past where the bed is that's made, there is a wardrobe on the back wall that has a door open. It doesn't look like this room has been disturbed, though.
Okay.
And there isn't any light source in there. There's no movement. It kind of just looks like it's been left.
From my hanging position,
Mm-hmm.
am I able to whip out a lockpick and try and open the window?
You can try. You can certainly
Then
try.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So you're gonna have to try and like hold your own weight on one arm as you try to dexterously as you can open the window. So I'm gonna need 2 checks from you. I need an athletics check to try and hold on to the window,
Okay.
and then I need a. Let's see if you can do that bit first.
Okay. I'm live. I'm not that heavy. 11.
11. Okay. You're struggling
Yeah.
at this point, and you feel like your forearm begin to like burn a little bit as you're holding onto your whole weight with one arm. I'm going to allow you to try and make a proficiency check with your thieves tools, but it's going to be with disadvantage because you are struggling to hold your full body weight
Okay.
with the weight and with that athletics check.
Okay, first one's really good. Second one's not as good, but that's still a 23.
Fucking hell. And you, as you kind of like are jostling with the lock, you feel your weight under you kind of slip, and as you do, luckily that was the jolt that you needed to open the window, and as you do, your fingers just grasp back onto the window ledge as the window opens up.
Okay. As before I hoist myself up, still holding on with my arm, I'm just gonna reach down one hand and say, "Throw me up that rope."
Kyrio's not there. So
Leanna's there and she has rope, so I will throw him up some rope.
Okay.
I'll catch the rope, put it on my shoulder, and then I'll climb in the.
in the meantime, Kyria has been looking at the building, has been thinking to themselves, kind of stood towards the back of her all going, "It'd be really handy if I could get in there. It'd be really handy if I could get in there." And then my skin begins to go translucent,
Oh God!
and I am flying in.
The
I
bone
spot
ghost.
this?
I'm behind the group.
Yep.
I kind of like backed away. I'm just kind of looking at myself, and I'm just be like, maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do this again. Maybe I can do this again. I could really do with going into that building. And probably Pim would spot with your passive perception, but like Kyria's skin just begins to lose all color, and they begin to hover, and then woof, I go
Okay.
into the building.
Okay, so Pim,
Obviously in front of it, but-
you do not see Kyria change.
Oh shit. Okay.
Even with your passive, you can kind of pick something up out of the corner of your eye, but as you turn, you just see something. You're not sure what it is, but you see something like an inch of something just dissipate into the wall, and you turn, and you do not see Kyria, but you see Virgil behind you. No sign of Kyria anywhere. As Kyria, you phase and pass through the wall into the building.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
So we'll be back in about 10-ish minutes. We're just going to get a quick break, and yeah, we'll be back very shortly with more of this to come. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Hi. What's going on in the apothecary? I don't fucking know.
Hello, everybody, and we are back. As you can
Hello.
probably see, I have changed from a t-shirt to my hoodie because it is fucking freezing. So,
Is it snowing where you guys are?
yeah, awful.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
-1 all day.
Yeah, shocking. So, Edivir, you climb through the window with rope in tow,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear nothing inside the house.
Okay. I am gonna, before I secure the rope to anything, I am gonna do an active sort of perception, listen at the door, hear if I can hear anything rustling around, that kind of shit.
Okay, make me a perception check, please.
Oh, natural 20!
Natural
Nice.
20.
Man, I'm rolling like crazy tonight, man. For a 23.
23. Okay.
I hear, ooh!
You probably hear it's like shit.
Don't hear any like audible banging or clattering or anything of that sort. But you may hear if Kyria does vocally go shit,
They would.
then you would hear that from downstairs.
But nothing I can make out up here.
But you
Okay.
hear very muffled downstairs shit.
This room that I'm in,
Hmm.
is this a kind of studio apartment situation, or does
No,
this
no,
look
this
like
just-
does it look like one room of a larger apartment?
Yes, yeah, exactly that. So this is, you just appear, you are in a bedroom
Okay.
on the upper floor of this property.
Okay. I will try to very quietly open the door a tiny crack and peer through the crack into the other room.
Okay. You open the door. The door opens silently. And as you kind of step towards the door to listen and peer through it, don't see any light sources, don't see anything moving around upstairs. You look out into what is effectively a hallway with a banister with some stairs that lead down.
Okay. I'm going to return to the window.
Mm-hmm.
And you said there was a bed in here, right?
Yes.
Cool. I'm going to tie the rope to the bed
Okay.
and then flop the other end out the window.
Okay, you do so. And Pim, Leanna, and Virgil, you see the rope hit the ground next to you.
And then Edivir's head pop out the window and just go,
So I've been looking up at the window since he disappeared through it. For the first time looking around. Where the fuck did she go now?
Oh, for God's sake. I don't know. Was Pim, do you have good eyes? Did you see where she went?
I
went?
have no clue, but something whooshed into the wall.
I mean, if they're gonna keep going off, we're gonna have to get that girl a bell.
Or a big flag on a stick. I don't know.
I thought that
sorry,
was my...
just out of curiosity, we're not on the main street, are we? We're in like a side
You are
street.
just in an alleyway, like 10
Looking-
feet away from the main thoroughfare.
Yeah,
Going up
yeah.
the rope.
What have you done? There's a Leonin now climbing a rope 10 feet away from the main street.
I didn't realise we were that close to the street.
Yeah, I am currently
running to the edge of the street and just sort of looking around. Like there's a lot of foot traffic going past our alleyway.
Exactly that, yeah.
This feels like something you could have warned us about.
This is something he did warn us about.
Okay.
We're literally in the busiest part of the city, breaking into a shop. I don't know at what point.
I wasn't expecting you to summon everyone else in.
Okay. Well, yeah. I'm sorry. I must have forgotten that during the break that there was loads and loads of people walking along next to us. All right.
Looking at Liana climbing this wall now up into the bedroom.
Well, can I retract that now that I know that we're like in full view of the street?
Sure.
Can we retcon that a little bit? Okay. I'll pop my head out the window and I'll just be like just show them that I'm okay, basically.
Okay.
And I'll go back in and I'll head deeper into the corridor, I guess.
Okay. Make me a stealth check.
Oh, there it is. That's 13.
13. Okay, you open the door and step into the corridor and the hallway upstairs. You see no other open doors upstairs. There are two, one down to the right-hand side. At the end of the corridor, there is another door there that is shut currently. And there is, if you go to the left to where the stairwell is, at the top of the stairs, there is another door to the, on the opposite side of where you are. Mm-hmm. And as you start walking towards the top of the stairs, you hear a floorboard creak under your foot as you and stop. Kyria.
Yeah.
You hear a floorboard creak above where you are.
I kind of panic and I'm gonna go hide myself. Like I'm basically gonna jump onto a book, like whatever's fallen on the ground, and float through, and just like hide below it.
Okay.
I just apparate through
into a book. Okay, you do so.
Is this area looking as disheveled as it was apparently looking through the window?
Not upstairs. Nothing looks disturbed. Like no open doors, nothing like that.
Okay.
Doesn't look like any of the rooms have been upturned. Like the room that you were just in looks fine. Everything in its place has its place.
Okay. So I'm going to continue down the stairs as quietly as possible. I'll lift my foot as softly and slowly as I possibly can.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, I'll just do one quick. I'll lift it really quickly.
I was just about to say. It's like,
okay.
And then continue on.
Okay, and you're going downstairs.
Yeah.
Okay, you make your way down the stairs. And
Scimitar out.
Okay, thank you. And you kind of turn the corner and through the door in front of you out into the shop front. You see every single display case and shelving unit that was in here has been ripped down. There is smashed vials of different liquids all over the floor. Boxes upturned. You see things completely out of place. The place looks like it's been ran through.
Okay. And there's no remnants of any products salvageable or anything like that?
Not that you can see, no. Not in the immediate vicinity, anyway. You could have a look around to see if there is anything salvageable.
I think before that, I'm going to go see if I can find some kind of doorway to the alleyway that everyone else is in.
Okay. You scoot through the shop and out through another door at the far end into the back room. The back room is very much like a living room with a door to the through again. And as you kind of open that door, it opens into sort of like a back alley yard, so to speak. But you do open a door to the outside.
Cool. Yeah, you'll probably, you guys in the alleyway will probably just hear like as the lock just unlocks. I don't open it or say anything. You'll just hear the click.
Okay.
Kind of during this time, Kirio is like poked their head like slightly through whatever the cabinet that they're using, and has seen that it's Eddie, and it's just gone, Eddie, Eddie.
You hear that, and you turn and see nobody at all, Edivir.
That's been. I'll get my dagger off my chest and hold that behind me and start walking back into the room.
I kind of pull myself out of the bookshelf and begin to like hover over it. It's like,
Do
Hi.
I see? Do I see him?
You will now, yeah. Definitely. As
What the
this
fuck?
corporeal form of Kyria just sloops out from this like bookshelf or this display cabinet that was on the floor, and now a form that kind of looks like Kyria, kind of doesn't, floats around 5 feet off the ground as she goes, Eddie.
Yeah, you catch Edivir off guard and he kind of slops and you see him whip back a hand to throw a dagger. And he's like, Curious. What the Is that you?
yes. Hi.
What is
I
What
don't
is
know.
this? What
I
are you
don't know.
doing in here?
I thought you could do with a hand, and then I was here.
Okay. Are you okay?
I'm fine. It's happening again. I'm fine.
Okay, stay with me now. Don't go getting taken away by an old lady again or something.
No,
Stay with me. You're
no.
here. You're real.
I'm real. Are you sure? I cannot see through my hand. I can see through my hands.
I can see through your hands as well, but there's something to see through. So that means there's something there. I'm going to go and get the others.
Oh, okay.
Is that okay? Do you not want them to see?
I don't know. I don't. It wore off.
Wait, can you go through walls
Yes.
and...
Yes, apparently. I mean, look at this. And I plunge my hand into the cabinet and bring it back
In
out
and
again.
out. Right. There are 2 rooms upstairs which I haven't explored yet, but everything seems settled and unransacked up there. If you can peek an eye in or something like that, see what's in there without getting spotted.
Look at that. I swear, if I.
We're whispering, by the way.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, we are. If I kill another halfling man. No, I didn't. And I whoosh through the ceiling.
Okay, you through the ceiling.
Edivir's just like, rushes to the back door, opens
Okay.
it. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Run.
So,
Oh, shit.
Pim, Liana, and Virgil, you see that? And you see Edivir just kind of like come round the corner at the back of the alleyway and go, come on!
Oh, okay.
We've lost
Yeah.
Kyria. We can't. Where?
He's in here. Come on.
How? Doesn't matter. Okay.
What? How are they in there?
They're there.
You'll see.
Why are we breaking in? As I walk through the door next to him.
Because we can.
The DM delivered this plot device. We're using it.
I love that. Because we can. Oh, it was great. Okay, so you all enter into the lower floor of the Phoenix Feather. You all are greeted by the sight of this ransacked shop. Kyria, you through into the first room, which is above the room at the top of the stairs.
Yep.
And again, it looks to be a small bedroom. Nothing really in there. It's sort of like a guest room.
Okay.
Like nothing in there, like clothing, belongings. Very much like picture of a waterfront in a
Yeah,
on
Very
a,
generic. With like.
yeah. Like like Airbnb style,
Airbnb.
right?
Mhm.
So there's nothing that you kind of spot in there, and you kind of like whoosh. In the meantime, you guys all join Edivir in the bottom room and the bottom of the stairs. The downstairs of the Phoenix Feather. The place has been ransacked. It looks like there's very little left. Everything looks like it's been destroyed.
If there's no one here, where is she? Where are they?
Kiria's upstairs. They've undergone a change. But
Okay.
Like when she was Tanner?
we're making the most of it. Well, no, not quite the same as that, but let's go check on them, though. But while we're down here, we should check this place over. Something's happened here, and something, call it my gut, is telling me that it's got to be connected to Flux.
Yeah, we have to be quick because I don't want to get caught here. I don't want to be blamed for something that
Right.
we didn't actually do. Okay,
See if you can find anything related to Flux. But if you find any flasks labeled phosphorus, magnesium, blasting powder, or black powder, take them. I need them.
Virgil,
Okay.
did you get that?
Yes, unfortunately, I did.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, go. Break.
Okay, so I need
Don't tell me what to do.
for everyone that is searching the downstairs of the Phoenix Feather Apothecary, I need investigation checks, please.
Right.
Bloody stuff on my own again.
I'm gonna guide myself.
Okay.
Yeah, that tracks. I got on that one.
Okay.
I also got a nat 1, but I can re-roll.
Oh my god.
Oh, I can re-roll. Yeah,
That's
I can't.
Can I do a reckless investigation? To give what would that look like?
Okay.
I got a 19.
19. Okay. Virgil?
23.
23. Pim?
Give me a second to look at my skills. No, I'm not proficient. So 17.
17. Okay. Liana, though you're kind of like looking and investigating around, you don't really find much. I think the panic of thinking that somebody's going to be walking in here any minute is just kind of putting you off your game a little bit.
Fair.
Virgil, you do start searching. You kind of roll quite well. A lot of the stuff you find can't be used, but you do find a little vial of red liquid, a little kind of potion bottle of a reddish liquid.
Mm-hmm.
You pick that up.
I'll back that.
Timothy, you don't find any potions as such, but you do find a very small vial labeled magnesium and a very, very small, like, little pouch that has black powder on it. So you managed to find those two things.
Can I put those together, or should they be separate?
Hearing this, Eddie sharply turns and goes, No. Just hand them to me.
There you go.
I'll stash them away carefully.
And as you're kind of searching under the counter, you do find two potion vials out of it. You find one that's sort of a clear greenish liquid.
Okay.
And then you find another potion bottle that kind of looking at it has this kind of like flaky blue liquid inside. So it kind of looks like it has like bluish flakes.
Like Goldschlager, but blue.
Like Goldschlager, but it's, yeah, like bluish flakes in there.
Nice. Okay. Nothing connected, like with the snake and skull insignia or anything like that.
Nothing like that, no.
Okay.
While investigating with what I've got, can I start trying to sort of piece together if anything specific has been smashed? So like sort of labels that keep reappearing on bottles, any sort of specific chemicals, compounds that keep reappearing, things like
Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it.
No,
Nothing
just
like
general
nothing looks
destruction,
like.
there's no-
Yeah, exactly. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Okay.
While you guys are investigating, Kyria, you
I will
into-
say, I'm not fully going in. Because
Okay.
they told me to poke my eye in. So I'm literally
Okay.
just kind of going a whoosh.
okay, that's fine. So you do so,
Just
in the second room.
yeah.
This room does look like it's a little bit more disheveled, and looks like it has been turned over a little bit more than any other room apart from like the main
Yeah.
floor of the apothecary. But you see something a little bit more intriguing. You see what appears to be an individual in a chair, bound to that chair, but is slumped over in it and looks to be covered in quite a lot of blood.
Ooh.
Okay. Does there look like to be any sign of anyone or anything else in the room? Any clear exits that they can have gone through?
Doesn't appear so, no. What you do, however, look and see is that this individual looks beaten and battered.
Yeah.
Like their face is swollen, slumped over to one side, their eyes open, like blood dripping from the corner of one eye and down out the corner of a mouth.
I think I shoot a message down to Eddie and I say, we may have an issue. Just give me 2 seconds. I'll let you know if I need anything. And I will go into the room and I'm gonna head towards the figure. And I'm gonna try and I don't know how I'm gonna interact with a corpse. Potentially. Can I see if my hand fogs up if I put it under his nose? Can I check for any signs of life, basically?
It's going to be difficult in this form because,
Yeah.
again, you can't grasp
Yeah.
or anything, and essentially, no, you wouldn't be able to see your hand fog up
Is
or
there
anything.
any the blade of a knife, a pen that's got a reflective surface, or something that could fog up with condensation from a breath?
Yeah, quite. Yeah, I mean, you would. I believe that Dag also has a blade, but again, in this form, I don't know if you're able to
I'm
interact
just
with
checking
objects.
whether I can interact with objects. Hang on. Resistance to damage. It doesn't say that I can't. Translucent and devoid of color, the air around you grows cold. Flying speed, ability to hover, resistance to all physical damage. So I think it's a numbed feeling almost, but it doesn't indicate anything in terms of interacting with objects.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a ghost moment, innit? It's going to have to be a willpower, flick the coin.
Yeah, see if I can pick something up to.
Yeah, I don't think this is going to be easy for you to do. You've never done this before.
No.
I'm going to allow you to make a roll to try and do this.
Okay.
Willpower,
I guess.
I like that. Yeah, it's gonna be a Constitution.
Constitution.
I believe. Yeah, I think it's gonna have to be.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. Okay. You see that there is a spoon, a metal spoon on on the side, and it takes you a couple of goes, but you kind of focus and pick this spoon up in between two fingers and hover it over, and it's taking every ounce of concentration that you have, and you hold it under their nose, and you do not see anything form on the spoon. It looks, in your expert opinion, that this individual is a void of life.
Anyone who's seen the TV show Utopia felt really sorry for this dead guy when that spoon came out. Oh, why is the spoon there?
No, that show's so good.
It's so good.
I think Kira at that point kind of is focusing on this corpse and is just looking around to see. Does it look I'm just basically just trying to.
As you're holding the spoon and checking, you already sent the message to Dag, right?
Yeah.
You hear, "Oi, you be careful with that." And you kind of turn and see the same individual that was slumped in the chair, bloodied and battered, stood in the corner of the room and go, "What are you doing? Get out of my house!"
I just wanted to see I'm sorry, but you.
And their face just kind of like drops, and their eyes open, and they go, no.
Hey. I understand. Trust me, I understand. I can help you.
You can.
Let me help you.
What did you do?
Fight
What have you
into
done to me?
I haven't done anything. Look at me. I look like you. I have not done anything.
What have they done to us? What kind of magic is this? Put me back. Put me back now.
I can't. I don't have that power. One day maybe, but I can't. I can help you for now. What happened? Do you remember?
And you just kind of see that this individual has this pure look of shock and horror on their face. Edivir, you hear this message from Kyria.
Okay. So as I'm rummaging sort of through things, it's like, I'll just turn to the others and say, sounds like Kiri's found something. Finish up looking for what you can, then we should go help.
Well, I haven't found anything, so I can go and help.
Okay.
Leanna, they said they had it covered for now, so just approach with caution.
Okay. And I almost cartoonishly sneak up the stairs, like high knees, high. Yeah, exactly that.
Make me a perception check, Leanna.
Oh no, that's good. That's good. Perceptions +3. That's a 19.
A 19. You hear Kyria quietly seemingly having a conversation. You do not hear any responses. It almost seems like this conversation is very one-sided.
Right.
As you get to the top of the stairs and hear Kyria be like, no, it's okay. Look at me. And you hear this as you're 10 feet away from where this door is, where the sound of Kyria's voice is coming from.
Am I on like another side of a door, or?
Yep, you're at the top of the stairs. Right. The door is shut at the far end of the corridor. You see that there is one open door. And as you kind of like look through, you see that there is a rope attached to a bed, and the rope that's been flung out of the window. But you hear the voice of Kyria come from down the hall.
I'm gonna go down the hall to where I hear her voice, and slowly, with my hand axe in my other hand, but with my other hand, slowly open the door. Okay.
As you're walking down the corridor, Kyria, this individual's like, whatever you've done, put it right. Put it right.
I promise you, I have not done anything, but I will find out who has done this to you. That I promise you. Okay? Your life story is not complete. I will figure this out, but anything you can remember, tell me. Anything.
I don't know.
Okay,
and
I get like
you
this
hear
too.
the door creak, and you turn, Kyria, to look at the door, and as you turn and look back, the individual's gone. Leanna, you open the door and see this. I'll tell you what, Kyria, why don't you describe what Leanna sees?
Leanna sees a monochrome see-through version of Kyria. Horns look as though they are just almost made of glass, like coming out of their head. Their hair is white and thin. It's still the same wolf cut. It's clearly them, but it's kind of blurred at the edges, and there's no kind of distinct form. Like you can still make out the goat legs, but everything looks like it's made of glass almost, but blurred in a way, like smudged glass. And you see Kyria looking at the door with the first sign of frustration and anger you've ever seen cross their face.
Leanna kind of like rubs her eyes, because she thinks there's something wrong with her vision.
And as you look in, you see Kyria in this form with this beat-up, blooded, dwarven individual tied, clearly lacking of any life signs, just slumped over in the chair about 3 feet away from where the form of Kyria is floating.
What did you do?
Leo, do you really think that I could do this? Why did you come in? I had him. I was talking to him.
You were talking to him.
I told Eddie I had this.
How are you talking? And as she's saying this, she's moving towards the dwarven fella. I am going to just place my hand on his chest to see if
He's dead.
there is.
Okay, yeah, you put your hand on his chest and you feel immediately the cold, like, rigid flesh of their chest, and it immediately grabs you that this individual has been here for some time.
Kyria?
As you kind of have crossed and like crossed Kyria's path, you just feel as though the temperature has dropped like 5 or so degrees in the nearby vicinity. Yes.
You said you were talking to him. Do you
Yes.
mean you were talking at him, or?
He was there, and then you scared him away. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I need to fix this. And I'm kind of staring at my body, and I begin to shake my hands. And I'm just like, come on, come back. Come back now. You're real. You're real. You're alive.
Make me a wisdom check, Kyria.
Fuck. That one. Okay.
This
For 0, actually.
in this moment, you're not convinced. You are trying to reassure yourself. But that voice in the back of your head keeps whispering, are you? Are you real?
Kyria, out of panic, flies through the floor. Away.
You see, Leanna, the form of Kyria as her head just kind of like drops and shakes. Just floats through the floor, leaving you in this room on your own, Leanna, with this individual tied to the chair.
And she is audibly like, I don't know what to do. Fuck. Right, okay. I'm going to go back downstairs.
Okay.
I am not equipped to deal with this right now.
Okay.
So she's no
Did I
longer
do something
sneaky.
wrong?
So because she's freaked out, she is no longer being sneaky. She is running full pelt down to where the others are.
Okay, and boop, 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 down the stairs as Leanna turns the corner, like at speed, to all of you in the room.
What's going on? What's going on?
So go on, Pim.
No, I'm just wondering because Kyria, they went down.
Yep.
Which is where
Yeah.
we are.
No.
No,
She's
not
not
that
floated into that room.
Okay.
Floated into the room
okay.
at the back.
What's going on?
I have no idea. There's a body upstairs tied to a chair. Kyria was talking to him. Apparently, I don't know if I scared her away or I scared him. She said I scared him away, but he was there, and
What do you mean?
I don't know
scared
what to
Kyria?
do.
Where's Kyria?
She went through the floor, like through the floor, dude. Like
This is what I mean. She's undergone some changes. It's fine. We're dealing with it.
oh,
Which way?
changes. Changes.
Oh,
That is not what changes are. I'm sorry. You did not prepare me for that.
Leanna,
was-
make me a wisdom save, please.
Liana, just volume, darling.
Wisdom.
Mhm.
Didn't like that giggle.
That's a 3.
Ooh.
God.
As you're saying this, and you're like, through the floor? Dude, what the... What you guys see is Liana's claws start to protrude and grow as she's saying this to you. Liana, you feel your emotions start to get away from you, and you start getting angrier and angrier.
Let's relax. Let's relax. Calm down. All right.
Relax.
Nothing's.
You could have said she was fucking invisible.
Would that have helped? Would it?
It would have prepared me, and you do see that the rage is not.
Look, I said
dimming.
that she said that she had it for now. Okay. Just which way
doesn't
did she
have
go?
it. I don't know where the
I'm
fuck
gonna-
she is. She
I'm
went
gonna
through the
go-
floor.
Into the back room,
As-
where I went to.
As before you leave, as Liana is saying this to you, you see, like, even where her snout is start to kind of like
Oh no!
kind of like furl up as she's saying this, and as you kind of like step out to leave the room, Liana, you get flashes in your head and almost an indescribable taste in your mouth.
What the?
Do I recognise the
God.
taste?
It has like a very irony tinge to it,
Oh yeah, okay.
and you can taste it, and it almost like shocks you as you kind of like you control your breathing. The claws redact and retract. Just
Yeah.
Redacted.
I'm sorry.
Right, so we have things to talk about. Couple of questions. Person upstairs. I hate
Dead.
to ask, but I thank you. Okay. Second of all, what are we talking about? Curious. They are invisible. They have gone where? Somebody, please explain without.
I run into like the back room past Liana.
Yep.
And I just stand in the room and I just have a
I
quick look
follow too.
around and I just say, Kyriatos, are you in here?
I think you hear. This is like a living room. Did you say?
so it's sort of like a living room, yeah.
Kind of like tucked behind one of like on the far side of one of like the sofa kind of chairs, like hidden out of initial view. You just hear a slight like sniffling.
Kiri, I'm going to walk over.
You see huddled in as tight a ball as possible, this spectral form still hovering a couple of inches off of the floor, like head in their hands, just kind of like almost like slightly rocking a little bit.
I can see you. I can see you. It's okay. You're there.
I can't make it stop.
It's fine. You did it last time. Just relax.
I got mad at Liana.
As Virgil sort of runs in, Edvir just sort of steps aside so that he can see Kiri as well.
You can see like Kyria kind of like hides themselves beneath their hair, even though you can literally still see through it. But it's like,
It's okay. I
I
might
don't
just
know
sort
what's
of
going on.
turn to Virgil. Yeah, as they say, like, don't know what's going on. Sort of just turn to Virgil.
So, this is incorporeal. You are very Very interesting, aren't you, darling? What's wrong?
I can't make it stop.
It's fine. You know you can because you've done it before. Intentionally or not. Now, and he sort of comes close to the chair and sort of pops a squat next to Edivir for sort of close to the floor and just... All you need to do is ground yourself a little bit. So, what's a grounding place for you? Where do you think of when you need to go back?
I haven't really... I don't know. My bedroom?
The start. The Artful Lodger, your room.
Do I hear any of this?
I would imagine you both do, yeah. I would imagine you would, Pim, yeah.
You hear everything, Ben.
As this counselling session sort of begins, Edivir leaves the room and goes back into the main bit where those two are.
Could I take a small peek?
Yeah?
Hand?
Slowly raises the hand.
We always hold hands. I'm gonna try to grasp her hand and just let it be there so that they can clasp it too and sort of make that an anchoring point.
Okay. You, Kyria, can't feel Pim's hand. You kind of like move yours around it. But something Virgil said kind of stays with you and it strikes you immediately. Like the fog is lifting. When this happened last time, the moment that you were able to control it and turn back, whether it was in your control or not, was the very moment you decided to go home.
Yeah.
And it was in that street, that fateful night, that you lost your friends and immediately went, I need to go home. And something twigs. And you cast, as your corporeal hand is surrounding Pim's, you cast your mind to home.
I think they kind of begin like muttering to Virgil and just say, I remember when we moved in, it was, the place looked awful, but Essen took me by the hand and took me all the way upstairs and said that the attic room could be mine and that I could make it a perfect palace, reminiscent of some of the grand halls from my old home. And, it was makeshift. We managed to scavenge some pallets and build up my bed, and it was beautiful. It's becoming a bit more ramshackle now, but I guess time will do that. I'm safe.
All the best things are ramshackle, usually. Patchworks, pull-togethers, pieces of ourselves knitted together to make a whole. None of us are full people, darling. You are as real as all of us. You have a place, a home, love, and friends.
As you
A lot.
As you say to yourself, Kyria, I'm safe. Pim, you feel Kyria's hand place into yours. And Kyria, as you look up, Pim and Virgil, you'll see that Kyria is no longer floating. Is slumped on the ground, knees up. And as you kind of like look towards your hand that is clasping onto Pim's, you can't see through it, Kyria. As your form shifts back.
Excellent. Well, sorry about that. Sorry.
Nothing to apologize for. You okay? Once again, you sort of feel the fingers sort of come across the face as he just very gently moves around with his bit of hair, just checks things there.
I'm okay. I feel a bit bad. I I think I got mad at Liana.
Well, I think a friendly conversation can't fix.
No, that's true.
Edivir, while this has been going on, sorry, go on, Dan.
No,
your internet's playing up, so you'll cut out and then kick back in. So apologies.
I don't know what's going on. Really, my computer is so bad. No, what I was going to say is, it was just very much a case of, right, let's get out of this corner, shall we? And stand up straight. Come on. And just sort of helps pick them up and move on to the next one.
Okay. In the meantime, Edivir, you move back into the room.
Yeah, Edivir's just kind of beelining through to head upstairs to check out this apparent dead body that's upstairs.
Okay.
As he does, he just sort of catches a look at Liana as he's walking through, see how she's doing.
Well, that's interesting, because how are you doing, Liana?
So as you look towards Liana, you see she is still. You can see she's actively focusing on her breathing. She looks like she's trying to remain calm, and it's taking a lot to do so. You also do notice that there is frost on her fur as she starts to shake, sort of shake it all off, like trying to shake her limbs off to try and kind of shake the fear off, the rage out of her. You do notice that there is a bit of frost that falls from her fur, but she is calming down. She doesn't really notice you looking at her. This is a very internal thing that's going on right there. But it's in the middle of the ramshackle, the remnants of this store. But yeah, that's what you see.
Then I will not disturb Liana.
Okay.
And I will continue up.
Okay, no problem. You
First
start
to check out this body.
Yeah, so you head up into the back room and see this dwarven figure just kind of slumped in the chair, tied up.
I'll go through all of his pockets.
Investigation check, please.
There's a body there, right?
Investigation. 11, 15.
15. So you start checking the pockets. You don't find anything on the outside pockets, but you kind of like, he's wearing a nice waistcoat with a bow tie, very much like prim and proper shop owner, has tried to make an effort. And as you kind of like go to feel the lapel pocket, you put your fingers in, there's nothing in there, but the very tips of your fingers hit something. And you kind of reach into the inside pocket of the waistcoat and pull out a pocket watch.
A pocket watch.
Yes, very ornate, round pocket watch that as you kind of open it, you see the picture on the inside of the pocket watch of a dwarven woman. Kind of looks like an older picture, like it's worn, a bit weathered, and kind of like frayed on the edges of the photograph. Stuck to the inside as you kind of close it and put the pocket watch in your pocket.
Yeah, before I do that, I'll hold it to my ear, see if it's ticking.
It is. It still works.
Okay.
With that investigation check, you start seeing, as you're looking through the pockets, you're getting a very good visual of what has befallen this person. And you see that as you're looking around, you see on the floor there are fingernails that have been pulled from fingers, like just bloodied and just on the floor next to the chair. And you see that there is drips.
Slight trigger warning, guys.
Yeah.
There are blooded fingers that have got congealed blood like pouring down them, like where they've dripped off the fingers and onto the floor behind the chair.
Rough.
You
Nice.
also see that there is blood coming out of the corner of this individual's mouth, and as you kind of like investigate it a bit further, you do see that there has been fingers in his. Cool. There has been like teeth removed and shit like that. Cool.
Okay.
You good?
Edivir continues with his search, even though no one's there to witness it, seemingly completely unfazed by all of this stuff. And I'm going to continue my search around the general room to try and ascertain what these people might have been looking for. That's sort of the goal of my investigation, not to loot, but to just get clues.
Okay, so
I'm
I've
looking
asked you
through-
to.
I'm looking
Okay.
whether that.
I'm going to need another investigation check. I know what I think I understand what you're looking for. You're looking for clues, things like that. But
Or just any kind of consistencies, like have they left his books and has they left his gold alone but opened a certain lectern or something like that? You know what I mean? Does it look like they've been searching for something very specific in this room? Okay. Investigation 14.
14. You do see there's no gold that you can find. Any gold that will have been found in the lower sections of this property.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see that there's a couple of open drawers? Things have been moved around within drawers. But something that kind of sets you apart from a lot of other folk, Edivir, is you have a deep understanding of what it means to hide things that are important to you in places that you either reside or frequent quite often. You know that typically if you want to hide something, it should really be in the last place anyone would look. But they're the first places you look.
Mm-hmm.
So as you're part of your investigation, you're pressing floorboards down to see if any give, any make noise. You're turning like candelabras that are on the wall and sconces just to see if anything...
I'm like tapping the spines of books to see if any of them sound hollow and stuff like that.
Yeah. You manage to kick and you spot out the corner of your eye towards one corner that there is paint, like this room is beautifully painted, must have been like done recently, but down in one like bottom corner of the room where the skirting board is, some of the paint is kind of like flecked away from the skirting board where it's kind of shows that somebody's like, and there's scratch marks like at that edge. And you kind of like lean down and pull.
Yeah, as soon as it begins to give at all, as soon as as soon as I'm able to discern that there is some movement to this, and there might be a compartment behind it. I'm also going to be very aware that if I hide stuff, I usually trap it.
Okay.
So, with explosives. So I'm going to back off a bit, and I'm going to head back downstairs, probably to when these guys have finished their little counselling session. And I'm going to come down the stairs, and I'm going to say, Virgil?
Yes. What's up, Eddie?
I think I've found something. It's not a pretty scene up there, but if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, putting out fires all over the shop today. Sure, let's go.
I spoke to him.
You two gonna be okay in here?
I spoke to him. I might be able to.
The individual upstairs.
I might be able to talk to him again.
He's been through a lot.
No, I can do this, but Liana. Is Natalie there before I do this?
I don't
Yes,
know.
I am. Sorry, I didn't realise I was muted.
Yeah. Liana, I'm sorry. I couldn't get back, and I panicked, and I didn't. I was talking to him, and it felt like you didn't believe me for a moment, and I understand if you don't. I understand. I don't know how I was talking to him either. But
Liana kind of stops her. She walks up to her and places her two hands, which are very large, on your shoulders. Not in a threatening way, in a comforting way. Don't worry. I didn't understand. It's not that I didn't believe you. It was a lot to take in, and it's not that I didn't believe you. I just didn't understand what was going on.
If it helps, I don't either.
Actually, it does help a little bit. I don't know why, but yes.
We'll make the most of it. I could try and see if he'll come talk to me again.
So, just so I understand, you are talking to his ghost, right?
I was talking to an individual who looked just like the person. He may have had a twin, but I can't see him here.
I didn't see anyone else in the room or hear anyone else. So, and I don't know exactly how to put this. I've heard you say sorry to people that weren't there before.
People, push past me in the streets on occasion.
Yeah, but no one else can see them, love.
It's true, it has happened before. Outside of I forget the very weird looking cellar down in the undercity. You said good morning to someone. They weren't there.
Given the evidence and circumstances, seems to suggest that you have some kind of link to the afterlife or people on their way to it.
Though this can be explored, though could be very helpful if we do need to get information from him.
In fact,
I fear I've been very loud. We need to hurry this up.
In fact, why don't we all just go up? Pim, I could use a little bit of a magic touch to what we're trying to do, and Kiri, if this person does turn up, you might be able to speak with them again. But I've found something, or at least something, somewhere something might be. But
do you mind if I go in first, just to be still in the room? I'd like to, let him know that you guys mean no harm.
Of course.
Yes. And Pim, it's a bit of a scene in there. Maybe just stay with me.
Okay, so you all make your way upstairs.
Yeah.
Kyria, you enter the room first, and you don't see the other individual.
Even if I don't, I'm still gonna kind of peer in, just like, it's me again. I don't know if you're here. I can't see you, but my friends and we're gonna try and figure out what happened to you, okay? We don't mean any harm. I promise you, we didn't do this to you. We're just trying to figure this out for you. If you want to come and chat, then I'm here. I know I look a bit different than before, but that just sometimes happens, and we just have to deal with it. And you see, they're saying that more to themselves than to this individual. But yes, we'll be here. If you've got a problem with us doing anything, just let us know, okay?
Okay.
And I'll gesture for everyone to come in.
Okay.
Okay, I'll head in first,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll sort of point out the area to Virgil. And I'll say, it seems like just the type of hidey hole I'd want to hide something valuable in, but I'm also aware of the business that this person was running. And I'm worried that there might be some kind of magical traps or chemical tripwires or something like that. Now, the latter I can probably handle. I thought you better be on hand to handle the former.
As you sort of quite nonchalantly start talking about this corner, as Virgil sort of rounds into the room and sees the dwarfs, sort of tied to the chair, and just the sort of the sheer viscera of it all, you feel a hand sort of grip your upper arm ever so slightly as you just like. Right, okay. It's a day for new things, Eddie, a day for new things.
You okay?
Corner, something you want to hide. Sorry? Magical,
Yeah.
potentially. You want... I can try. Does he look magical to you? Do you
Do you
think he
need a
looks...
minute?
No. We need to get out of this house, and it's fine.
Well, I don't know. I thought maybe.
I
I don't use magical means. So if there's anything that you if you spot anything that looks familiar while I'm doing this, any sigils or, geometric shapes or weird flaming smiley faces appear while I'm doing something,
Oh, you do listen to me.
you just let me know.
I mean, I can do this if you want. And he sort of he holds like his right hand out, and you see the sort of the bluish green arcane energy appear,
Mhm.
and just above his hand, like an arcane version just floats up, and as it hovers for a second, it very much does the almost like one of those sort of Disney animated gloves. It stands on two legs and sort of gives like a small bow as it stands with its like pinky and thumb sort of like as if it was sort of doing that.
Giving a big long bow. Love it.
Okay.
That
I
could
can
also
open
work.
it
Yeah.
from a distance if you would prefer to not.
Let's try that for now.
Okay, everyone into the corridor or whatever, and I will set the map. The mage hand will sort of.
Great.
Okay, so is everybody going into the hallway?
You watch the mage hand sort of very.
Yeah,
I'm
so
heading towards the door.
very sort of
Leanna has
Yeah.
been in the doorway with Pim, so she does back away from the door to let anybody that wants to come out.
He's looking very nervous right now. For you listeners, he's looking terrified.
I'm heading towards the door, but I still want visuals of the room.
Okay. Pim, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm just behind Liana right now, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Edivir, what are you doing?
I'm outside the room, obscured from the rest of the room, just leaning on the door frame with my arms crossed,
Okay. Virgil.
anticipating an explosion.
So
So
the only one that's in blast radius is the Squishy Wizard. Okay, good to know.
no, because these things work from afar. Virgil's going to follow you all out as well. I'm not staying in there. As you sort of see the mage hand sort of just stood in the middle of the room waiting for like the command to go, and it very just sort of jauntily sidles and sort of runs it over and takes its thumb and just hooks it into a place where it looks like there would be purchase, and just
So
pulls it open like a door.
just want to be clear, because Kyria said you're not leaving the room, or
I'm
are
in
you
the
leaving
doorway.
the room? Okay. And
Because I'm
everyone
still
else?
keeping an eye out for this guy to appear.
Okay. And the rest of you are outside the room.
Has
Yes.
anyone tried to pick this? I'm just going to say this before.
There was no
Anyone
lock
tried
on
to-
it. It was just a board that came away. It wasn't like a locked thing.
Good to know. Good to know.
Nothing happens.
So the mage hand grabs hold of the skirting board and starts to pull it.
I'm getting ready to pull Kyria out of the doorway if anything goes bang.
Okay.
With a mage hand,
Or hiss.
with a mage hand, would you be able to feel? You wouldn't be able to feel tension in things, would you? Like
No.
because you can lift stuff and grab things.
Yeah,
It's not.
no.
It's not an extension of yourself in any way. It's
No.
more just a. Yeah, arcane hand. That's fine.
Come on, Dan. What happens?
I'm waiting. Dan's delayed, so I have to pause a moment after Dan finishes talking, just in case he carries on. Like I'm just being wary. This isn't for dramatic effect, I promise
The
you.
mage hand has pulled away the skirting board.
Yep. And then what happens next is, that's a dramatic pause.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Enough with it.
So the skirting board gets pulled away from the mage hand, and Pim, you would probably be the only person that hears this, as you hear a click.
Click!
There it
There's a
is.
click!
Pulling Kyria out of the doorway.
Okay. You do so, and Virgil, you pull the skirting board away from the door. From the wall, not the door. Why would the skirting board be on the door? That's a weird place for a skirting board to be. But you pull it away from the wall.
Everyone's just in the corridors, like.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
There is no explosion. There is no fire. There's no brimstone or anything like that.
I'm
There's
gonna
just
poke my head around, and then if it feels.
No, there's an explosion. No.
Delayed fire.
I'm joking. It's a delayed reaction.
Right, let's get ready to leave. I'm going to check whatever's in there and then we move. Unless anyone wants to do anything else in this room.
Well, I'd like to figure out who he is.
Yeah, I would kind of like to do the same. Feels like the
To be
shopkeeper,
fair-
obviously, but
There might be papers downstairs with the proprietor's name, no, the shop owner's name on it.
This seems
Just
to
Natalie
be...
going, I'm dumb.
I'm dumb, love.
No, wouldn't know that word. No. I'm going to say, well, this seems to be their office of some kind, so this might be a good place to look for documentation. I'm going to head to the corner.
Okay.
Right, I'll look for papers.
Okay, so you're going downstairs. Or are you staying where you are, Liana?
He said that this looks like his office, so I'm looking for papers in this room.
Okay.
I will help her doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not. you
Okay,
said
fine.
last session you're not a big reader.
I know. Immediately going for the documentation. Love that. Okay, investigation check with advantage, please, Liana. And Eddie, you kind of you kind of go across the room and reach into the hole that is in the wall behind the skirting board, right?
I'm going to cover my hand with the tattered scarf.
Okay.
As I reach in, because Pim said there was a click.
Okay.
Just to give me an extra layer of... To burn away before I lose my hand.
Okay. No problem. Liana, what did you roll?
17.
17. You start rifling through the desk that's in the corner. You find a number of different manuscripts of delivery notes. You find a few handwritten receipts that have been duly signed. Nothing really piques your interest as being shady or anything.
Do I see anything with the shop logo and then a signature?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
you'll
will pick those up. So thinking that must be his signature.
Okay. No problem. Is there anything anybody else would like to do?
yeah, I would like to look I think Pim would like to look at the body, sort of check for any markings, tattoos, sort of sigils of anything.
Okay. Make me an investigation check. I'll be back with you in a second, Edivir. You just hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Just while as everyone else is doing something, can I look at the body and not look for sigils or anything, but look to determine kind of stages of decay and how long I reckon that this body has been there for?
Sure. Make me a medicine check. Timothy?
That's a 14.
14. You don't really find any tattoos or insignia or anything like that. Really, you do see that they have. Weirdly, you see that they have on the rear. It looks like there's a hole where a piercing may have been, but it's kind of been ripped out, disgustingly. Not great. There's no visible signs or markings as such. Not that you can see, anyway. Kiria, what did you roll?
I rolled a 12.
A 12. With that, it's hard to get specifics, but definitely looks like they've been here longer than a day. You can start to get that smell.
Yeah, great smell.
Yeah. That we've all obviously been around. But our imagination can probably put us there, right? It's not nice.
Okay.
Edivir,
Mm-hmm.
wrapping your hand in the scarf,
Mm-hmm.
you reach your hand in. Are you feeling around for anything? Are you...
Yeah, you know I am.
Are you doing this tentatively, like you're being very delicate with how you're reaching around?
I'm careful. I'm careful for like any resistance I feel from any like tripwires or anything that I'm feeling. I'm going in a very slow pace, trying to see in there as what I'm doing as well.
You fell into my trap. This is a mimic house. No, you just
my arm just goes.
You reach and you're being very careful. You only feel one thing, and it's towards the back of this small space in the wall. And you grasp whatever it is, and it kind of feels malleable and pliable in your hand. It's hard to tell underneath the scarf. And you pull out a small parchment, wrapped and tied.
I will untie it and open it.
And it explodes! No. So you...
Part of me was hoping it would. Not gonna lie.
It doesn't explode. It doesn't explode. Anthrax doesn't work that way.
No.
You...
Like rolled into a package?
Very small, just kind of rolled. Like a rolled parchment.
Okay, so not like a parchment made into a package and tied.
No.
Okay,
like,
cool.
It's very small, and it's kind of rolled up, tied up, and you untie it.
Okay. I'll as I'm untying it, I'll just reach around and just tap Virgil. Not look at him, just tap him on the leg or something as I'm unrolling it.
Okay.
Sort of feeling it. He'll wander over, bend down. I was like, why didn't you let me use the mage hand to get that out? That was dangerous. And you still see it there, and it's sort of like, wait.
Sometimes things are better done in a manual fashion, the old-fashioned way.
Oh, an old-fashioned man. What have you found? I'll open it up. Let's see.
As I finish unrolling, this thing is massive.
Yeah, you were doing that for a while.
This goes on for ages, guys.
As you drop it and it down the corridor.
It's small, but it's thick.
Yeah.
Okay.
She said.
The note says... He says as I read this out. 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
There have been whispers circling. You may be in danger. Use precautions. I fear you are being watched. And there is a small stamp in the bottom corner of a raven's head.
Oh,
that's not what I thought it was going to be.
With a scar down its eye.
Oh, shit.
And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh,
no!
That is where we're going to leave things until next week. We will pick this back up next Tuesday.
Oh, man. Can we not just pick it up?
As this tangled web of intricate shit befalls our group. But thank you, everybody who has joined us this evening. I know for a fact that our good friends over at D20 by the Sword are also streaming this evening.
Boys.
So we're going to go and raid them in just a short moment. But thank you, everybody that has joined us this evening. As always, we love you very much. We will see you next Tuesday. And if you have missed any of this episode up till now, then check out the podcast. It's launched. Duh. And then, yeah, we'll see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.